All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Salty Saturdays. I am your stream operator, Wild9, and with me tonight is Azalea Akari. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Very excited to see the couple of matches that we have tonight, and excited to see some good Hearthstone.
Yeah, we've got a trios match and a heroes match, so they just got their ban in. So why don't you introduce the match real quick while I
Abs-
update some stuff? Go ahead. Yeah.
okay, absolutely. So, this match is the gang that gets this. The gang gets top decked versus the W gang. Both teams sitting at 2-1 on the season. We have some We have some similar deck brings between them. We have a common Odin warrior and a common nature shaman. The difference is uh that the gang gets top decked has a treant druid, which is drum druid with eclipse and topior, and then we have curse lock. We have good old abyssal curse lock from them as well. And on the W gang side, their different decks is they have a secret hunter, they have arcane hunter, and they have mech rogue.
All right.
And this mech rogue is running illusionist and mothership notably, and is not seems I'd say it's a slightly different list from what I've been running. But this I know this deck can sometimes scam and win pretty easily. I prefer the Door of Shadows list a little more, but this is also fine.
Yeah, so we do have the bands that just came in with,
All right, awesome.
let's see, what do we have here? We have the Gang Gets Top Deck has banned the Mech Rogue of W Gang, and
Makes
the W
sense.
Gang has banned Control Warrior.
Okay. Yeah, also makes sense.
Yeah, I can put
Um,
the deck list here up on screen in a second here.
okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, I don't think yeah, the bans aren't incredibly surprising
Hmm.
or anything
No,
for the
the
most part.
Macro had good matchups into most of what the team of Ron, Lotus, and Desharmo brought. So they got rid of that Mech Rogue, and on the other side, Gimme Lamp, Lowbrow, and Lemur, they definitely don't want to see that warrior, for sure. So we will
You
get to see one warrior.
just
Hmm?
making sure that you have Gimme Lamps.
I do. I have
Okay,
Gimme Lamp
cool.
and Ron added.
All
Yep.
right, great.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll give them the green light.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think
Absolutely.
there's anything. I think they're playing mostly standard decks, right, for the
They
most
are.
part.
Yeah.
And it's interesting the
Yeah.
combo kind of decks from, or the more control combo-ish decks from the gang gets top decked. But they both have Nature Shaman. Uh, but yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. The
I
Nature
have.
Shaman getting a comeback with Jazz base being looked at and said, "Oh, this
Yeah.
card can discount bioluminescence." So
Yeah,
we'll take it.
yeah, it has been doing
Yeah.
really well. It does look like the stats have been really good overall. And then with the decline of Hunter, right, like you're getting
Yeah. The
Shaman to
Hound
be
Hunter.
exactly Shaman to be
Yeah.
much more good in this meta where it's not going to just die to stuff in general. Got more time to
Oh,
pull
for
off the combo.
sure. Yeah. Warrior probably tends to give it time to do its combo. Um, for sure. And Like I think I mean they didn't bring Control Warlock. Neither team brought Control Warlock, which is seen play, but Doomkin seems to be a card that might Warrior might not like. But yeah, we'll see if these teams are in the match or not yet. It looks
Not
like they're
yet. It looks like
looks like
they're
they're all done.
swapping, swapping. What's the word? Pilots. So I guess
Oh, okay.
Lemur is going to pilot after all.
So Lemur will pilot. Okay, I
Yeah.
believe I have Lemur added.
Let me make sure I
So
have them added as well.
yeah, if I don't, I obviously just need his tag, but
I
I can
can
look it up.
post it to you
Okay, cool.
real
Thanks.
quick.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I have them as well.
Okay.
They're
Let me
also
just
just
check if
getting
I.
situated. I see that. Yeah, I have Lemur. Um, I don't see them on
I'm
mine yet,
already friends. Okay.
but I see that unless they're only going with two, again, yes, top decks is missing someone right now. Too.
Yeah.
It'll
That
be
yeah.
a second. Do you give anyone the favorite or like the side advantage a little bit because of the matchups?
I didn't get to look at it. I didn't get to look at any specific matchups. Um,
Yeah, let me take a
but
look.
my team has experience losing to both of these teams, both this season and last season. So
Certainly both good
I don't
teams.
know. They're both excellent teams.
Yeah,
Um, I wonder how this. I wonder what this curse lock looks like and what the matchups for this curse lock is. I think that might be a deck of struggle
I
for
see.
the game gets top deck to get through. I haven't really
Yeah.
looked deeply at its matchup with Hunt. I played the matchup, but I didn't play. I played it into a lineup that had the Hunter, but I didn't go against the Hunter with my Warlock.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't really get to look at it. I think the Hunter is pretty favored into it because it just has burn damage. Um,
I don't see
and
Lemur.
I'm not sure of the Shaman or the Warrior matchup.
Oh, there's Lemur.
So
Okay, they're going in. So let's
okay, they're going in now.
get into
Awesome.
it.
So who is on the bottom?
I have Lemur on the bottom.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good.
I didn't see Lemur on
With
mine for a little while. That's why I was like not sure.
oh
And then
yeah.
all of a sudden he's there. I'm like,
Oh
ah, okay, they're in.
oh, it did not let me spectate.
Oh yeah, Ron. We'll have to remind him.
Well, I it just kicked me out of the spectate.
Oh really? I can't
And I
spectate
was saying that
Ron.
I'm gonna restart my client.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
telling me that Lemur was spectating me when he is clearly the one playing the game of Hearthstone, and I am just watching. But yeah.
Well, it's Warrior against Shaman is the first matchup. So Lemur's on
Okay,
the
cool.
Warrior. The W gang is on the Warrior. The gang gets top decked is on the Shaman. So I think this is going to be at least slightly favored for the Shaman. I think it's close though. Oh, okay, it's really close. Like a 45-55 kind of matchup. Like, see Ron spectate on. Let me check. Maybe it's bugged. It's. I think. I think I probably bugged as well. Try to redo this. Yeah, I'm gonna restart Hearthstone as well.
I'm sorry. I was muted there, but I thought that they were playing, and then all of a sudden Lemur was in the. All of a sudden they were checking deck collection and stuff, and now they're gonna get into it. So
Oh, so the game I was in was fake
I
or
think
something?
so. I think so. Maybe
Interesting.
they. I don't know if they actually ever went into the game or not,
Interesting.
but
Okay, because I was
I don't
definitely in
know
some
because
kind of
now
game.
now they're preparing to battle, so
All right,
they'll be getting in soon. I would guess,
I'm gonna come back in there.
but also,
Very weird.
yeah, I don't know.
There have been some
Um,
interesting spectate bugs, like the whole cards
there
flipping on the
have.
other side.
Oh yeah, I
Been going
know. It's
on.
like, yeah,
Very
yeah. I
strange.
think I was told that when because I played on stream, my teammates who were watching were like a bit weirded out by that.
Yeah, it was pretty strange.
They were like, oh, it's like I couldn't see your cards because so just inside behind the opping, we typically have the person who's on the top screen. We have their stuff flipped in the window, obviously, for everyone to see at home or watching. But when it keeps flipping it, it's difficult to actually have it correct. So yeah, um, I don't know if they're in the game. It
I
just says
I
preparing.
think they're waiting or something. I don't
Oh,
know. Hopefully it's not
well, everyone's
crazy
in there,
bug.
so I would I guess I would give them a go ahead.
Yeah, I let them know that we were
Oh,
ready again.
okay, cool, cool, cool.
We shall see
Yeah, very weird.
if we're not completely bugged.
But yeah, I don't know about any specific favorites coming out of it. I like I said, the Curse Warlock
Yeah, you're right that
might
the
have a
Curse
good
Warlock
matchup.
does have trouble. So the Curse Warlock is
Yeah,
going
I'm.
against what? It's going against they banned the rogue, right? So it's going against warrior, shaman, and hunter. Is that right?
hmm
So
Um, yeah,
yeah,
it's got Warrior,
it's
Shaman,
not
and
good.
Hunter.
It's not good
Hunter.
against
I mean, it doesn't
hunter.
like the Hunter match. Doesn't like Hunter.
Yeah, it's not
It
great. It's okay
doesn't particular.
against warrior. It's like 48.
Okay,
That's like
yeah,
its chance,
that
and
makes
then
sense.
it's not great
Yeah,
against
that
major
makes
shaman
sense. You could
either.
just. Mhm, mhm.
Okay, I'm just checking that. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going
I don't think
on.
they're in yet, right?
No, I want to make sure that we want to make sure everything's good for the players. 'Cause if not, then we're super bugged.
Okay, yeah, they're not in the game yet. Okay, cool.
They're not. Okay,
I'm just gonna
that's
make
cool.
sure they know that they can go whenever they're ready. But they're probably maybe it's because they're all here now and they're talking or something.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, the numbers don't look. Curse Warlock seems like it will have the toughest time. That Hunter
Mhm,
has pretty good matchups against the Nature Shaman and the Warlock. That Hunter looks pretty strong in the W Gang's
mhm.
lineup.
Yeah.
They also have that Control Warrior, which uh, also does seem to be pretty good into some of these matchups at least, or at least 50-50, or have an edge. Oh, okay. Ron had an issue, but it's fixed now apparently, so
Oh, good.
we're
Okay,
getting
good.
ready.
I'm glad that glad that the issues are resolved. Looks like I
Yeah.
have two eyeballs, so
All
let's
right.
get into it. What?
Nice.
Well, I
Hopefully.
guess we can decide where we want to go first. If we're gonna hang around
Um.
here, if we're gonna go listen in for a little, it's up to
Oh,
you.
we can. We'll hang in here in the first game at least.
Okay, that works.
We'll
Oh,
probably
and Shaman
mirror.
Mirror.
Fun times.
We're in for a game of Hearthstone because typical combo mirrors typically are a bit odd sometimes. All
Yeah,
right.
it's interesting. I guess playing in this mirror. Are you looking just for your combo cards? Like, do you ever keep some of those combo cards? I'm gonna assume no, still, but like schooling, for
Mm,
example, that doesn't
oh, I think.
feel like it does
Well,
that much in this mirror.
yeah, I'm not sure. Um, I'm curious how all these people keep because I haven't played the new version. Like, okay,
Okay,
yes,
full
they went
toss.
for a
Yeah,
full toss,
that's what I was
and
thinking.
Ron's team is still mulliganing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking similarly that it'd be a full toss. I think on the top side, the only thing I would think about maybe is Flow Rider there, but I think without like ancestral knowledge on two or something like that, kind of a
Yeah.
weird keep.
Mhm. First, they have bioluminescence, Thorum, and they they have Flash of Lightning, and they got a Flow Rider is back as well. The other team has their Inza. Inza's a good card, but I think this because this match is just gonna move slightly slower. I wouldn't be surprised to see like he just hero
Hero powers.
powers kind of
Yes.
early.
I assume that the
Like,
entire early game is hero power pass. And so Inza's, I think,
yeah,
probably one of the most important cards in the mirror just because you do need to discount your overloads and that'll
yeah.
allow you to get your combos off. But as we can kind of see, like, I do think the W Gang has quite the start. I mean, I like their hand a little bit better. Oh, and now they have the Jazz
Oh, I
base as
love their
well.
hand. I like their hand a lot to have the Jazz base early. Um,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think from the perspective of the gang
good
gets
draw.
top decked, well, they're gonna rip a. Looks like they're looking at ripping the Feral Spirits. I might
Yeah.
have looked at ripping. Like if they didn't draw that, I was gonna say I was looking at just playing Thorum
Yeah, well,
just to get
this is a really good top deck for them because they can play Thorum next turn for with to draw one
a
card,
draw.
and
Yeah.
then I mean I guess they could think about whether they want to look at the Flow Rider or not instead, but you
Hmm.
could also just draw more cards basically,
Yeah.
and also put some pressure on. Yeah,
There is
that's good.
Thorum Stormlord.
I mean, the problem with this Jazz base in some sense is that it's so early that you don't
Yeah, that
really
it's not
need to
gonna really be
discount.
swinging again.
Yeah. And you're only discounting by one right now. You haven't played any other overload cards.
Yeah,
So they're looking
and
at
here should
Koininja. I
yeah, absolutely.
think the other play could be Ancestral Knowledge, Flow Rider, and then something. But I think this makes a lot of sense. In some sense, with these Discover, like these Lightning Reflexes, at some point perhaps, they could start trying to dig. I think that they're still a little bit ways away. And they are. Oh, wow, okay. We're going to go and swing and play Ancestral Knowledge, I
I
imagine.
suppose.
Yeah, I don't
I
think.
guess I
Yeah,
would think you would have yeah. I would
let's
think they
see.
would kind of have to make that if do that play if they're gonna swing. Yeah,
I think you have to
and
swing if you think about it, right? Like it just feels like you can't really control the board too easily, and you're not gonna. You don't. It's not like you have all the combo pieces in your hand that you're even
no,
thinking about like a turn 6, 7 combo or something like that. So it does make
yeah, for
sense.
sure.
Like, hey, like we're not gonna be able
Hmm.
to use this death rattle. We can't just hold on to it for the next 5 turns.
Yeah, agreed. So
So now,
from the from Genghis top deck's perspective, um, hand looking not the best. Um, they don't have a flash. They have a lightning reflexes, so there is a reason to go flash here
yeah,
for
I
next
do
to go
think.
for next turn.
Oh, that's not a great
Yeah,
draw though. But I do. I
that
mean, I
is
guess you just
not.
trade it probably.
I agree. I think you do just trade it.
But yeah, I do think that you start to look for something next turn. Yeah, you just hear a power out like that.
Yeah.
This actually does make your opponent think a little bit. Like you're a little bit nervous leaving stuff up.
Hmm.
I imagine though that they will search, go discovering,
Hmm. Hmm.
lowrider.
That's decent top deck. It allows it's 0 mana and it's an overload. It probably yeah, it forces the flash of lightning back.
Yeah, I think this is great. Like they actually between they should be pretty close to getting lethal. Interesting. This is
Hmm.
very interesting. I think you're basically like, will my opponent kill me here if I don't remove a minion? Which I do think is
Um,
pretty risky
I
because you already
think
saw the lightning, right? You already saw the flash of lightning,
yeah, I
but also they
because
have
I
a
do.
really high like chance for counter lethal on the backswing,
Hmm.
and maybe they're basically saying, look, we can get that even without the 5 damage to face.
All right, so they're gonna play the flow rider
Oh,
early. There's the
turn to
schooling.
tides.
Turn to tides as well. Both are very good.
Oh,
They're gonna
okay. We
take the
just want the
draw
draw.
though.
I mean, they do have overload. Sorry, overdraft.
Hmm.
Aren't they going to
Yeah,
play it? They're not going to play it here. Oh, interesting.
they opted to hold it, and now with
I
Inza coming in, the lightning. I think this turn you have to go reflexes and
They're going
kind
to
of
go.
hope there's a zap.
This
That's
is
a good.
that.
That's good.
Yep. I mean, they're definitely going to try to go here. They get at
Oh,
least. That's
definitely
very good.
lightning bolt 0.
Yep. Here's another
All
discover.
right,
So
this
they
is
get.
very close. This is very
I
close.
think that they should be able to find it. Honestly, they've
Yeah,
got 5 mana to work with. You're going to
another
get another
zap.
zap. That's
Yeah.
great. Just cycling through, looking for more damage. Got the bioluminescence, and you have another tap. Oh, that
Hmm.
was a bit of a miss. Oh, yep, you have to turn the tides,
No, this should be
bioluminescence, and
it.
lethal. Yep.
This should be it. Bioluminescence, double lightning bolt, and the crashes should be lethal.
Man, turn 6. Very
Very
impressive.
well, very
Yeah.
well done.
Yep, that's this that is this class. In terms
Yeah.
of, like You just kind of pull out the win from nowhere in some sense. They just had
Hmm.
the goods in terms of having the 0 mana damage to face,
Hmm.
which the W gang had the setup with the weapon. They had the Inza down first, but no no face damage basically, and no way to really discover it. Maybe they get it in the next
Hmm.
turn, like it's possible. They had
So
a lot
they
of
had
draws and
reflexes.
discovers, yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe they could have gotten on the backswing, but
agreed.
the gang gets top deck gets there first. So
Hmm.
good game though. Really really showcasing that, not only that matchup, but I think also just seeing the combo, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
that is this deck in that way. It's kind of similar to Miracle Rogue or something along those lines, right? Like you just have a
Hmm.
feel like, okay, we have this much damage in hand. Even like you have to make sure or see like how many things you can get to stick on the board in order to get your spell damage up, and then whether to go for it, basically to just
Yeah.
look for the lethal, right? And so they have that
Mhm.
that sense of like, we probably can get there, right? We just have to find a little bit more, and have the right
Yeah.
discovers in order to find enough damage to push.
Absolutely, and the fact that they knew that they had enough mana for um they had enough mana to work with was really good.
Yeah, yeah, managing that
I
mana and just making sure
yeah,
you save 3 mana for the bioluminescence, and how many minions can I get on the board before I pull that. All
yeah,
right,
for
so
sure.
we got Control Warrior now against the Druid.
Hmm.
So this looks
Absolutely.
like a lot of times it's a 50-50 kind of matchup here. Maybe
Yeah,
gonna take a look at
I
the
like
list.
it's the yeah. I don't. Let me
Druid
see.
is
I
Druid
think
is
it looks
standard,
Druid is standard,
and
and
so
I
is the
think
Warrior. Yeah, like I was just
yeah,
wondering if they're not running both brawls or something like that. I think it's pretty common to run both nowadays, along with shield
yeah,
slams and all the removal.
yeah. So this group this
This is
so
a
they're not running from the depths.
right. It's not the Friend of Death's list, but it's the Steam Guardian
No.
version.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is better against the Druid. I mean, I would kind of expect so because you can maybe more consistently get the fires out early. Turn 5 or
Mhm,
turn 6 fires are actually really annoying to deal with, but
mhm.
we'll see.
There's Embrace. Does it get a drum circle? It does not. It gets a life.
We
It's the
should
life binders.
go ahead and take this time to jump into one of the sides. You have a side preference? You either listen to the Druid or the Warrior for this?
Um, I don't. I would say let's jump in with the team that got the win in the last
Yeah,
one, and then we
let's
can
do
swap
that.
from
I
there.
like
So
that.
let's go to Gang gets top decked.
All right, we're gonna jump in and listen in.
You love to see the random free embrace of nature and miracle growth.
The miracle growth is very good into them. Do you want to make a board here? Just drop the seedsman and the seedling, the blossom.
I mean, we
Yes.
always
I
ramp,
do.
right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, this guy he gets played 100 times out of 100 on this turn.
and then let's
Now the
just
question is,
say
do we seedling right now?
we can blossoms. I'm pretty happy with it.
I don't see a good enough reason not to. It forces them to play the forged card maybe and just clear up our board, push 3, right? They float 1 mana
Mhm.
because we know they have the card, so they're going to
Yeah,
clear it.
yeah.
And that just gets that out of the way.
Okay. So
We're
next
probably going
turn
to
we could
ramp again.
we
Ramp
could
again, forge.
forge and ramp too. Forge
Yep.
ramp and then even play the forge card.
Alternatively, the one card I would rather get is actually the 5/5.
Yeah, okay. They did what
The
we
4/5.
wanted.
If we get 4/5, I think we just natural causes in 4/5.
Oh, it's kind of annoying because their Steam Guardian discounted the bellowing, so they were able to forge again while doing this. We got a lot of options here. I think we always forge. Hear me out though. Do we ever solar the embrace?
I mean, we don't
It'll
have
give
any
us
win cons right now.
double
So
charged up drum circle because we've already drawn the other gift.
We definitely embers. But I kind of want to ramp. Why not ramp?
So that we can have a big old drum circle. I guess that matters less against warrior.
Yeah.
Is the thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. We
I
want to
just
just
want to
forge
ramp
and
and
play it.
forge. Yeah.
Yeah, Forge. I like
Forge,
the
don't
Forge.
play it yet.
Yeah, forge don't play it. Sounds better.
Because if
Because I
we
need
want
a
a
3
solar,
anyway.
if we do want a solar, we're fine. Also, if we're going to play it next turn, we're going to plant it first to see if we get another solar or something good. Yeah, this is a pretty good.
He's just gonna go face and leave our 3/2 there.
I don't think he leaves that 3-2.
I mean, probably
pretty
trade
bad
the
move.
rusher.
Yeah.
Debate is whether he wants to push 3 or leave up 1 more power on board.
I mean, if I was him, I'd
Might
push
as well
the 3.
push 3.
Yeah, I'd push
Yeah.
the 3 for sure. Are they gonna leave it there? They better not
You
leave
don't
it there.
have to trade the rusher, but
It's very
generally
bad.
it's probably better to. Like in
'Cause we're
case
gonna
we
buff
just
it.
buff this up
Do
and
we-
it gets to attack with a buff.
Okay, so they do that. All right, there's one of our drum
Oof.
circles.
Worst possible draw right off the top. We were gonna solar this.
Let's just embrace. Well, no,
Hold on.
planted first.
Before we do that, do we ever? How many cards we got? We got 8, right, or
Actually,
9?
no. Let's
9 in
Alright.
hand.
Do we mill one in this process? But do we ever make a 10/10?
I don't think it's good enough here.
no.
Okay.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter enough. Oh. Take the scam?
We take the scam. We always take the scam, but not for now.
Right.
We can't even do it now. Let's just go embrace.
Just
and
this
play.
and do we just play the drum circle?
Yeah. Let's just go for it.
I guess. All right.
Brawl.
Well, let's see if they have one of their many removal tools. Bright side is Bladestorm doesn't really work against this.
No, it's actually pretty bad against.
Although double blade storm is good enough.
Well, like
There's brawl.
a bash and a Bladestorm would have worked too. But yeah, there's brawl number 1. Hey, we won the brawl. Let's go.
All right.
Been
I
a
kind
little
of want to
unhappy
get that
with it.
miracle growth out. I don't know if anyone's thinking of that, but
Do we
You
wanna-
want to discount our
reduce-
hand and then miracle growth?
let's discount our hand and then miracle growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great plan, Ron.
I like what you're thinking.
Some more cards. Are any of these cards Topior? No.
They are
unlucky.
not.
How do you feel about just natural causing their face? Just so we don't mill ourselves.
And we could also play the Astalor, set up a nice little
And
board.
we can also play Astalar, yeah.
Seems
Or
reasonable.
do you like
enough.
better? Okay.
We've already seen a brawl. This plays around some other removals a little bit better.
Yep.
Now
Yep.
they can't use a what's it called? A bash and Bladestorm or something for easier clears. There's these two.
Well, we
And
have
brawl
we have
down
a
is
good.
harder to deal with.
If they don't have another brawl, we do have.
I just
the
can't wait to
solar.
convoke the spirits, man.
We're not
Wow.
doing it.
I hope we don't ever have to do that. I hope we just.
Oh yeah,
win.
I know.
I hope we just next turn they don't have a.
All right, that was pretty interesting, actually, just to hear a lot of their thought process there. And that was really enlightening, right, in terms of thinking
Yeah,
of their thought process.
That was super insightful.
Yeah.
There was a lot of tricky decisions there's a lot of tricky decisions to be made there by the druid.
Mm-hmm.
And it does force a billowing flames out, and it does only clear Astalor, but it does allow them to play a bridge riff,
Which is a double, right? Yeah.
which
so
is
it
a
does get
double
both.
riff.
That actually worked out perfectly, essentially.
It did, yeah. But there's the Topior card that they were mentioning last turn.
They
So now
wanted
this
it.
druid's going to be able to make a lot of little minions to start poking away at these, like, at the warrior boards. Let's see
Yeah.
what they do from here.
They
They're gonna,
want to
yeah,
come in.
evidence seems great.
Yeah, they do want to come in as strong as possible here because this is the Odin turn, right? So if your opponent has
Yeah.
Odin, you don't want them never to ever play it for fear of death, right? Basically. So the hope is that
Yeah.
they're too afraid of just dying from whatever board they set up here,
Mhm.
which is certainly possible. They have a lot of juice to just create a lot of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah. So they're aiming they're aiming at natural causes here. So they'll likely trade off a 3/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
They
face. And Odin,
could
yeah,
also
this
create
does
another
threaten.
3/3 if they want. Yep, I was thinking
Okay,
that.
yeah.
And then you could even just drop one of the 2/2s. Just again to might as well. Just again
Yeah.
to make it so that if they play Odin, they just feel really like this is lethal on the board, probably,
Odin is
right?
lethal. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Odin means
actually
that they
exact
lose.
lethal. If they play
Yeah,
Odin, they're
so
dead.
absolutely, it does force a brawl here. Um, very likely. Um,
Very, very likely.
so
I
the
guess you could
big
go
thing,
digging, but
yeah, you
that
could.
seems scary. I guess you could also play the Guardian and then brawl.
I guess yeah, the Guardian brawl wouldn't be awful. It would give you a chance to win the brawl, but you can also just play it afterwards if like say a
So,
2/2 lives instead.
yeah, you definitely would
Um,
prefer if you're gonna play it. You definitely want to play it before, I would say. But I think
mhm.
this is just thinking, do we bash instead?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it does get rid of most everything except for the 5/5. Okay, that's fine. Like
2/2 lives
maybe
and
you
they
just don't
slam a
care about.
steam.
Sure, that's fine. Maybe you just don't
Oh, a
care.
really good draw. That's a really good draw. Um, and now it's kind of the same cycle that we saw last time. They're gonna look to create a scenario where Odin is not very good, and
Yeah, and
that's
they
a very
can
good start.
because the Astalor as well. They have a
Hmm.
cultivation in hand. They just saw another brawl, and I think they're gonna reason that. Well, I mean, obviously there's no more brawls left. I
Yeah.
wonder how easy this is to clear with Trial by Fire. I don't think it's that
Um,
easy if they play
I think it is. I mean, this looks pretty
cultivation
easy to clear with trial.
right now, but I'm expecting cultivation to come down.
Oh,
Could
there's a
be wrong.
cultivation in hand.
Yeah, and so
Okay,
that'll
yeah.
produce
Well,
another 3/3
that
as well.
changes things. Yeah.
Yeah, you could even solar eclipse this thing
Hmm.
to really go kind of all in because no brawls left. Really
Sure.
awkward board to Bladestorm as well.
Yeah. Especially if you trade.
I do
So
think
they're
this
gonna
is
solar
correct.
cult.
Yeah,
Yeah, this seems
makes
like
a
the
lot of
correct
sense.
one. So they're yeah.
And then you're just thinking here of how to make things a little awkward for. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, the
okay, they're gonna
2/2.
play a treant. Okay, I was gonna say, how are they gonna dodge
Hmm.
the Blade Storm?
This
At this point, they did. The Blade Storm's hit, but it's just
I
not
was
great
thinking
in
there's
this.
other ways to make the Blade Storm more awkward, actually. Like, it would
Oh, okay,
require trading in the 7/7
a 7/7. That's what I thought. I thought you
into the
traded in a
3/3. Then
7/7.
you have a 4 life and a 3 life. So Blade Storm
Yeah,
just feels really awkward. Here, if you bash and then you
yeah,
Blade, you're going to get rid of a lot of 6/6s. You're still
agreed.
dead?
And
Oh,
now
okay.
trial
No, Trial
becomes
by Fire becomes
is just
really
a big
good.
clear. Yeah,
Wow. That is
yeah.
actually huge.
Yep.
I mean, that is top
I
of a
would not
top
be
deck, but
surprised if we have to see the box here.
yep, they were talking about it about not wanting to have to play the
Never
box.
wanting to have to play the convoke, and they probably have to convoke here.
Does seem
It's
correct.
not a great situation, but we'll see.
All
Okay,
right, play that
they're gonna
first.
play the
Make a
apple first
3/3.
to have a
Yeah.
3/3. Okay.
Okay. Just in case.
Hmm.
In case you hit some buffs or something early on. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, there's a all right. Wrath for 3 kills their own minion.
Oh
Rhythm and
wow,
roots.
that was.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
the
no.
withers, nightshade. Oh, this is tragic.
Oh
A solar
no.
eclipse for nothing gets a living roots. I don't know if it does it twice or
I
not.
don't
It
think
does not.
so. Oh,
No, but
which
Mark.
minion gets the buff? Okay, at least you hit
All
your
right, it
own.
goes on their minion.
Okay, okay, Soul of the Forest. All right.
Soul of the
You got a tiny
Forest.
board. And a 3/3.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Well, now
Now Odin should come down.
Odin is definitely the slam.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And
Because that's your win con.
yeah. There will be some minions on board for the drum best.
That's
So
true.
realistically, best draw for them is Disciple.
Well, they could shield slam this stuff. I mean, if they really
They
wanted
can.
to play Slave here, they could basically clear everything but a 2/2 or about a 1/1.
Yeah.
Or just clear one of them. Like, that's also the middle
Yeah.
ground play here, right? Like, you just slam
Uh-huh.
the 3/3, you run the 4/2 and the 2/2 instead. I think
Yeah.
that it's worth, in my mind. Oh, they're just gonna. Oh, okay, they're just gonna attack it. That's fine too. That makes a lot of sense. I forgot about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hero power
Yeah.
attacking.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. That's a good card to start with.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Disciple of A&R. That's what I was looking at for the
Right.
drum.
Because you can do that right now. You can
Yep.
ENR and go,
Yeah.
which I guess you
The
have
thing is,
to.
they just don't have a lot of stuff, so they kind of have to
I think you gotta
figure
make the
out.
best of it. I mean, this is really,
Yeah.
really good. The taunts mean the armor is not
Yeah.
going to get to face, of course, and now
Of
you
course.
have swing back counter lethal, of course, and your opponent is
Yeah.
out of clears, right?
Yeah.
They only have one more
They're
blade
out of
storm.
they're out of guaranteed to clear everything. Yeah.
See, what can they clear here? They can clear a decent amount
Mm-hmm.
with the shield
Yeah.
slams and the
If
8/8.
they play the play.
They're gonna definitely draw some cards here, a lot of cards here.
Yeah, they're gonna draw a lot of cards. You're right. And they're gonna have a lot of armor to work with for the shield slams.
Yeah.
So looking at it, they clear. They have three. They have 4 minions to. They can clear 4 minions. Just from here.
Plus their attack, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm adding the attack into that.
Okay. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
bash.
There's the bash. There is a.
Oh,
That's a
an
good.
Ignis.
An Ignis. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna have to do a
Slams.
double.
Oh, there's a blade storm that cannot be
No,
used.
Blade Storm is not good because
Right,
because
your
your
2/2s
minions have
now.
2 health.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's the 4 minion
Okay.
clear.
So this is 12 damage. Is there a lethal out? Do they send it face and Astalor?
They have cultivation
They do still have
in
cultivation. That's
deck.
only +6 damage though.
It is
You're at
only plus 6,
18?
7. They have
19.
12,
If you
18,
get to 21,
19.
I think
They
they're
don't have
2
it.
off right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that wins, but
You
could
could slam Astalor.
pray?
Man,
Astalor feels
not
pretty
necessarily
horrible.
pray for lethal, but you're probably clearing enough off the board doing that. You just almost hope it full clears their board.
I mean, in that
And
case, maybe the cultivation is better because you can build a bigger
yeah,
board. You
you're
also get a
right.
3/3
You're right.
rusher that can
Mhm.
do something here to help you with the
Mhm.
board.
It does give them a rusher,
Yeah.
like you
Your
said.
opponent is low on minions. Like, you've seen a lot
Yeah.
of their minions now. So at
Mhm.
least in theory, they shouldn't have too many more
Yeah.
minions coming out, which means that your Astalor will get more damage later on. But you do have to send everything face, and the 3/3 kills the 5/2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this seems very solid.
Yes.
Okay, so is there some kind of Blade Storm clear of any kind? I don't know. It's actually pretty tough. All right, yep, 2 off lethal.
Uh,
But here comes some
This-
armor gain, probably.
there's reverse
Or-
riff.
The annoying thing about the Ignis is can't swing into anything. Not right now. Not without clearing the board up.
No.
It's a very annoying board.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, if they had a Craftsman Hammer, there's like a cheeky play of like, you get a 1 cost that deals 2 and it's poisonous, and you clear their entire board that way. But it looks like they're gonna have to just do it. They're gonna have to do the clear this way to get a Blade Storm.
But
But I
how
don't
do
know if they
you-
kill everything still.
You definitely don't.
They have a
Now-
bash. So
Okay, so
they
now
have
you
a,
just
so they're gonna
gain
be
tons
they're gonna
of
gain armor. Is their
Got
plan,
it.
I guess. Gain armor, core verse rift, chorus
Oh
rift, so you
yeah,
get an extra
you can
verse.
get double the verse riff basically. You can double the verse
Yeah.
riff if you want. Which I
Yeah.
assume.
The problem is that they're just
Oh.
the problem is that they're oh they did no okay they
Okay,
haven't
yeah,
done
I
it
thought
yet.
they did it in the reverse order as well, but I
The
think you
problem
want
is
the
that they're
armor.
just dead to the Astalor in hand at this point.
Yeah, and they know Asler's in hand, so I guess this is their only out. Wow, really
Yeah,
well
I
played.
mean, I think they're just. I mean, they played to what they played to what they could do,
Could
and the
do,
other team also
exactly.
played to what they could do, and
Exactly.
very close game.
Yeah, really well played. I mean, think about all the clears, all the removal that they went through, right, and all the creating boards. Like they just had to keep recreating boards until they found their out, basically.
For sure.
Very
All right,
impressive.
and
Both sides.
with that, we have a match point.
Yeah.
They have this. The Warlock now has to win, or gang gets top decked. I wonder. I don't know what matchup they're gonna want to start. I don't know what matchup they're gonna lead. I don't know if they're gonna play for if they're gonna play to with the if they're gonna play the least favored matchup
Right.
into it, or if they're gonna play the most favored, and they're gonna play they're gonna play the even matchup to start.
I think that they are incentivized. Oh, maybe not. I guess the best matchup would have been the Hunter, right? Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Are
I
they
guess it depends
incentivized?
on
I'm not in trios this season, but I thought that game score does matter, or does it not matter
It
at all?
doesn't. It
Okay.
doesn't.
Okay,
I mean,
got
it kind of matters, but record usually record is like the biggest thing. So like,
right, and then
you know,
like your opponent's record as well, or something like that, is a second tiebreaker, I think, right? Something like that.
something like that. Yeah, I unfortunately haven't kept track of it very well myself, but
Yeah.
But we do see. We see a curse. We see drag below. We see Symphony. Symphony, a very important card. In the matchup.
It's so interesting to me
yeah.
that Drone Deconstructor is in this deck, just like casually.
Drone Deconstructor is in I believe this and probably Imp Block.
It's just hilarious. Like
Just because it's
if
like
this
I
is
guess a good
1/2
enough
mech,
early game card.
yeah, it's just like, hey, we just want to create a minion and delay bad stuff, like that's all this little guy is doing.
Yeah, and like say all of a sudden you got a Wind Fury. Oh, I'm dealing 4 damage. Okay. But
yeah,
all right, we
clearing
get
a couple tutus.
Yeah, we get forged from the warrior. Yeah, I guess kind of see how the W gangs comms are going for this one.
Yeah, that's right. Let's
and we'll yeah, and then we'll come back if after a little bit of time.
Sounds good. Here we go.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Right? Okay.
Yep. Ooh. King's Guardian.
Curve then.
So what's their natural for them?
School teacher.
Yeah. I didn't check. Do they have Okani in their list?
No, they're not running Okani.
Okay.
Like,
I just haven't seen Curse Lock on that in so long.
I'd rather just play Hammer here, right?
Yeah. Yep,
Or
that
we
was
could
a
play
good draw.
6/6. I think it's Hammer though, right? Yeah.
I think it's the hammer, yeah.
It's 12 armor.
Yeah, and it's a slow play. It's hard to get down, and it actually does something aboard this turn. And the armor's relevant against them. So they haven't drawn the curses at all.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it's
well,
not
we
good.
figured they were going to do
That's
this.
terrible, bro. Please don't tell me they hit the Sargeras,
Not the
please.
pride. Anything but the pride.
Sargeras. Not the Sargeras.
Clearly they didn't hit it right, or else they would.
Right.
Do it.
They
Or
would have
maybe
snapped
they have.
They would have snapped it.
Yeah,
So
or
they're
then
just gonna
maybe
get like
they
a 6/6
have
down this turn.
Sargeras in hand.
Or yeah, they could have Sargeras in hand, and then Darkon's not like that bad at all, really.
Hopefully they hit like burn 6 cards, deal 6 to all characters, and like
Oh yeah, bro. They gotta try and burn Odin out of our
deal
deck, bro.
6 lifesteal. Yeah. I mean, they saw we
They're
have
not
2
picking
keeps. So
that.
I think they're
It's
probably
gotta be
smart
like
enough to know that we have Odin in hand.
they're probably just getting 6/6 down, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's not Bridge Riff. It's gotta be Bellowing, right?
Right.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, it is because like it leaves a 6-1 up. Do it to punch it.
Which makes me think. Like they're
Because we would never like coining trial is horrible. We would never do that, right? It makes 4 force.
yeah, it could be Bridge Riff, it could be Steam Guardian. I mean, I don't really like Steam Guardian. It's probably just,
When we play Bridge Riff, what the worst thing that could happen is we like eat 7 from their board.
that's pretty bad. I mean, no, it's just too clean. It's got to be this.
Oh, okay.
And we hero power.
Yeah, after we punch. Okay.
It's just too clean with trial next turn to clean up and then go to Odin.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what they do. If they play a board that's just gonna where it's gonna get wiped out by Abyssal Curse or the Abyssal Wave, maybe we don't do it. Like here, if they just have the school
No,
teacher up.
dude, I want them to play Abyssal Wave, right? Because we get a free Odin down.
That's true.
I-
That's true.
Like that's like not a that's not an issue.
But if they go
Force it
tall,
out.
if they ever go tall later, like if they like on the Sargeras board, the trial can make a pretty like threatening board. They have a hard time dealing with outside of like
No,
Gigaton.
we're just gonna burn them down after that, right? Just burn.
Hopefully.
Man. Bridge is actually so just cleanly kills everything, but I don't think it's worth it. We want to make things
Or
down here. We could double Steam Guardian. Either double Steam Guardian or Trial.
trial, we could make 1/5/5. We could make
1, 2,
mm,
1, 2. Yeah, it doesn't cleanly go into anything.
yeah, it's one. It always makes 1/5/5.
I like just double Steam Guardian then. What do you think?
And then we're punching the 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we need. I don't think we have to have the hammer swing for Odin. So I think double Steam Guardian's fine.
Wait though. They just drop Darkon next turn though. I don't like that.
Yeah. If they play
You know what?
Darkon,
Just
then
for
you.
that, I think it's
Yeah,
Trial.
because the 5/5 is difficult. I agree. Yeah, because you need because the hammer will clear.
Okay, this is very awkward, but
Yeah.
we're making a 5/5. We need this. This had to happen because we need to make sure we can play Odin next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could have also
agree.
just Steam Guardian and not swung. Double Steam Guardian, no swing, but I don't like just leave.
Yeah, that feels like shit too, because then you're just leaving the 6/6 to die to the 2/3 poison.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Sure.
I mean, it's not good,
And
but like
play
it's good that
Shield
they don't have
Slam.
anything else to play.
I mean, that was a lot of those heavy
Yeah.
plate shield block.
Still have Ignis in deck. Still have Trial. Still have Hammer.
Yeah.
This is actually
Desperation. Yeah, I be our game.
you what?
Like this should be like we should have this one. We're pretty far ahead.
Yeah, I haven't played a single curse. That's like the biggest thing actually.
Hmm. Yeah, this matchup's a lot easier when they haven't played 6 curses by this point in the game. Funnily enough. All right. Yeah, we just bonk them in the head, right?
Do we have to? Do we swing?
We don't have to, but if we, I mean, if we draw to the other hammer next turn, are we gonna draw next turn?
We're playing like Steam Guardian Bridge Riff. They also Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They run Gigafin, right?
No.
They don't run
They run
Gigafin. Okay.
chaotic consumption, so Odin's probably dead next turn, but
Yeah. Especially since they've just been kind of sitting on their hands for 7 turns. They probably have chaotic
they
consumption
didn't
in
have
hand.
Darkon. Like Darkon they would have maybe they wouldn't have. I feel like they would have though. Which means their hand's like
I
gotta
think
have
they have the
Sargeras in it.
consumptions in hand.
I don't-
You're right. I think you're right. We probably aren't going to draw on the hammers. We don't have to use it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
should
mean,
probably
like,
hold it.
there's not really much else we could get with it, but sure.
Yeah, we're not going to draw.
I mean, there's not
I mean,
much else
other than our
swinging into,
natural.
but I don't see it like. There's some things we might.
Maybe I should have waited actually to see their reaction to Sargeras. But
They said, "Oh, there's a Sargeras."
okay, because I was thinking like, well, the one thing.
I think their thing is they're gonna probably consider Brawl here. So
Well, because yeah, the one thing about not swinging there is the taunts, right? But
yeah,
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know how significant that is honestly, because I mean,
yeah,
maybe it is significant, but honestly, I'm not sure.
I am not sure either.
Yeah,
I
they had a pretty
have
good read though. I mean, they generally
yeah.
kind of were pretty sure what was going to come down. I don't think that you can necessarily guess that they would have the movement into Sargeras there. Obviously,
Yeah, but they do have They do have a decent enough answer
they do.
because of the Blade Storm.
Yeah, you could
Like
easily
the
Blade Storm and get a ton of damage here.
yeah.
Oh, the Rift is fine as well.
I don't think they can. I mean, they just don't have lethal from here. So like, yeah,
So this could be
There's
like
not-
Rift, Hero Power Verse, and then swing.
I think that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Not quite lethal, but
No.
leaving the Sargeras up? Question mark.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either, actually, because
I'm not sure what they're doing.
think
They haven't
that-
swung yet.
ooh,
Oh, they are.
but
I don't
doesn't
know
the
because they can just make six. Because
sixes-
now they can make
yeah.
6/8s.
with
Now this
taunt,
seems like a good 6/8 deck. A
Yeah.
good 6/8 turn. They do have the
then you
Abyssal.
brawl it, I guess.
Do they? I guess they can brawl it. They have Abyssal. Looks like they're gonna not go for the wave potential. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They're gonna just use what they
Heal up,
have to heal.
sure. Yeah, and then you can drag.
Yeah,
you
this
can,
is fine.
Drag below this
Drag
one,
below to give them a
and then
curse.
make a bunch of
Okay.
sixes.
Is that the first curse? That's the first curse of the game,
The
isn't
first
it?
curse of the game. That's what they're noting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. This is a brawl here,
But-
very likely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I guess they didn't care because they're like, we're gonna brawl next turn.
Yeah, it makes
Like,
sense.
let them have the 6/8s. It's fine.
Yeah.
We just brawl it out and hope.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
6/8
6/8,
taunt lives.
But
Now
you have Blade Storm, but then
Yeah.
you only get 2 damage in.
yeah.
What
What
else
is
can
the
you
other
do, though?
alternative?
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, you can play the heavy play and just swing into it, but that
Ugh.
feels terrible.
Yeah. I think they're forced to Blade Storm.
But I guess also, I mean, it's really awkward. Like, also, you kind of want to use.
They
Blade
could
Storm
not
with
care.
Reforms. They could just play it a 6/6. I mean, they could.
I guess, but they're gonna go for the blade. Yeah, they're gonna go Blade Storm,
Uh,
and they're not gonna get the damage in. They're just gonna opt
Just
to
gonna, yeah, Forge.
they're opt to Forge. Okay.
I do think that the burns did hit a lot of armor gain cards. So
It did.
they
It hit
do
enough.
have-
It hit enough that it's kind of like they were listing off other cards that seemed like they
Good.
did list off other cards that mattered.
Right. Like
Yeah,
for sure,
the main-
Ignis is another important
There's a
card here.
cultist. Cultist is good here.
Yeah, they're gonna start.
You just need to start getting curses into the
Yep.
hand. Unfortunately, it's a bit awkward because they don't really have. They chose to lose their Finley over losing deal 6 to all.
Yeah,
very
that was
interesting.
You're right. But
yeah,
they,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess they didn't know that Odin was coming down yet, right? Wasn't that before the Odin turn?
Yeah,
I think that was right at the end of the Odin. Right.
That
like,
was
right
the-
turn right before
wasn't
they
it-
coin Odin.
Okay, yeah, that would make
Think.
sense. Yeah. I just figured that in this type of deck, I guess because they had a decent amount of their curse cards, they were thinking don't have to worry too much about it.
Yeah, my guess,
Um,
my guess was that they just never thought they would ever cycle their hand. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I don't know. Like, and that's reasonable.
yeah,
I
it's
could
reasonable.
understand that.
It's correct.
Like, they had really good cards in hand, basically, and
Hmm.
so I could kind of understand that.
Hmm. Well, yeah, that's all. Now with the damage being taken before it counts as on their turn, and so the armor is automatically
Yeah,
working.
it
And
change.
yeah, for sure. So it has
Oh,
changed. It's they're getting a decent amount of curses in. They would really love to see Zakul soon. Um,
now you wish you
but
had Bladestorm though. That's what kind of what I was talking about, like the four
yeah,
health thing. Like, it's really nice to remove two taunts instead of just one. They
yeah.
could have maybe ignored it, and I don't know though. I'm not sure what they
I'm
could have
not
done
sure what
that.
they were supposed to do
Yeah,
otherwise.
that was
I
really
thought your
rough.
idea of playing the thought your idea of playing the 6-6 wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I think that you could have also just done that. Because
Hmm.
part of it is that you can discount some of these fire spells to get um, a little more. Because you're basically trying to play your armor spells along with
Oh, that's super
theirs.
nice.
Yeah,
If
it
they
is a
want to,
double.
they can trial here because trial does clear a lot here. I don't know what they're left with,
Well,
but with the first riff, you're not left with that
they're just
much.
going to be hitting for a lot. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is really good. The burst riff is
They're
really
gonna
good.
be leaving 2 4-1s up, and they're gonna verse riff, and they're gonna hit for
Four, yeah.
uh, they're gonna
No,
hit for 8.
8. That's right.
Yeah.
The card
That's
draw. They
an
take
immortal
two,
card.
three.
That is a Scourge Supplies. That's a pretty good card to draw. Um, for sure.
Um, you can easily remove this with 5 mana, but
Yes.
and I guess you're just hoping that your opponent cannot clear the 3/4s that come out and do 6 to face, which
Mhm.
maybe is wishful thinking. I don't know.
Mhm.
Hard to say. I think that you would
Yeah.
like to heal if
I.
you could.
Mhm. Yeah. So the Scourge Supplies draw here is good. If they get Zakul, they get
Yeah,
School
Zakul will
Teacher,
be.
draw 6, and Lady Darkvein. So Darkvein is good.
Darkbane is good.
Darkvein's very good because it will be able to stockpile 3 curses into their hand at once. Unfortunately, it's like
Yeah, will you
maybe
ever
they
get to
won't be able
play it?
to like they're gonna like they're essential. Okay, so they're essentially dead, is how I see it because they're dead because they have to probably look they have to look for heal. Just for the simple fact that they're yeah, just for the fact that they know they should guess that there's a heavy plate and yeah, they're gonna be able to clear
Well,
the full board, but they won't have enough damage down. And I guess they saw so many cards get removed that
well, here the
oh,
taunts.
it's the taunts.
Yeah, it's
It's the
just a question
taunts.
of can they get through the taunt now, right? Like,
Hmm.
does this bellowing flame do enough to get through
Oh
the
well, that
taunts?
certainly helps a lot. That certainly enables it to happen.
Wait, what do you
So
mean?
this should be the Craftsman Hammer draw.
We still have to get through the taunts
Oh,
though.
well, they would have to swing.
We would have to get the
Yeah,
flames to somehow hit both the taunts. Like,
yeah,
kill,
you're right.
like 4 hits have to hit the other taunt right now, which of course is
Yeah, so
very unlikely.
they're gonna have to draw for bash.
Yeah. Okay, Ignis is not in. There's a brawl, and you
Brawl?
that should
This
if a non taunt survives, it's lethal
it's lethal.
because the
So yeah,
heavy
you're right.
play
If a
behind
non-taunt
that.
survives,
Oh, they're not gonna
but I
go
don't
for
know if
it.
they want to go with.
Oh,
I think they want to guarantee it. And there's the
oh, there's
bash.
the bash. Is that
I would
guaranteed?
do the
You don't
bash
have
first.
the damage. You don't have the
They don't
mana.
have the mana. They do not have the mana. They're just gonna go for it and
The
hope.
bash does. Oh,
Does
wow,
not
that was
clear.
really close. I mean, you do
Yeah.
3 to face. Oh no, you do 5 to face with the hero power.
Yeah.
You
It's
could
just not
also
enough.
equip the weapon for next turn. I don't know if that makes any
I
sense.
guess.
I think you get the damage in now, and then you
So you're gonna get their damage in
brawl.
now.
You brawl. Oh,
And
they're
they're
also.
gonna play the
Oh,
curse.
interesting. So, like, to prevent heal, basically, I assume.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, for extra heal
I
from
guess putting
Zakul.
them to one
Well,
doesn't
there
really
is the
matter. Oh
Zakul.
wow.
So
But can
They're
you
f-
play it
Are they?
safely?
They're forced into it.
Like you could play that and then reverb it. Would it heal you for double?
I don't know how that works.
I'm kind of assuming it does.
That's unfortunately an interaction I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I'm assuming it does.
I think I have an interactions link somewhere. Because
Because
we had this happen where we didn't know about Sargeras reverbs,
it
how it
would
works.
heal you in theory for 10 then. You'd be back up to 13 with 2 taunts in play.
Yeah.
And we can see that would be enough because your
I
opponent
can't
has
imagine
10.
I can't imagine that it
Double heal?
wouldn't work that way. I believe it would.
Maybe not. The wording makes
I wonder
it seem
wonder
like
if I think they're trying to figure it
maybe
out.
they
too.
don't know. The wording
think-
seems
yeah, I
like it might not. Oh, okay, interesting. Wait, what? Why they
Okay,
reversed that? Ah, just to kill it. I got it. Okay, okay. And then you have a 2/2 left over from your opponent's side, and you're just gonna. So I'm sure it doesn't work. Well, the wording actually makes it sound like it does not work because like it doesn't say
Bridge Rift do it?
they're an auto lethal, or do you have to gamble with the brawl? Bridge Rift has a verse rift inside of it. It does clear 1. You have to do 2 damage to the other one. Is there a weapon that would? No. Wind Fury weapon?
No, there's no weapon that would get through.
I think it's brawl. So 50-50 to win. Is that good enough? Is that a good enough play? 50-50 to win.
Is it? I mean, I think
before it was
probably. I think
before it was a 3 out of 5 or 3 out of it was a 3 out of 7.
Yeah, it was definitely not as. This is probably
this is
their
worse.
the best odds we've seen. They're gonna go for it.
Okay.
They've been hovering this ball, but also I think they look at it and say we have to go.
All right.
And if it doesn't work, taunt lives. They have a bridge rift that they're gonna play, which gives them a verse
which does
rift.
give them a 4 damage to face. So
Yes, it does. No.
Keep pushing the damage.
So they have 5 damage. Can they actually?
The problem is though that the removals are running real low now.
The removals are running very low. There's no brawl. I don't have my tracker. But
I think it's
they have 1 shield block, which is only draw Abyssal Curse.
They have 3 cards left in deck, and they burned a whole bunch.
They just have to hope.
They're
They
down
just are
to
hoping
10
from here.
now. Okay, there's
a shield block.
I think you have to.
They don't. Dude, they run. I believe they run slams. Somebody in this one of these 2 decks runs slams, and it is the W gangs deck. So they do have, if I'm not mistaken, their final cards, and I don't think they can draw twice. So, they can win.
Wait, but it's only if they're both slams at the bottom.
Oh, they might have milled the slam.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling. Well, I don't know. I don't have deck tracker up either right now. Maybe I can look.
I don't know what their other card would be. I think it would have to be the slams. They should know what's in there. They should know what's in their deck, and they think it's better, and they think that it's not. They think that it's not. They know that. They probably know that one of the slams.
I think that the last 2 cards. I just tried to turn on my tracker. I think it's armor and shield slam. So there's only 1 left.
Oh, it's a stone skin armor. Okay.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, well, this is a super close game. I cannot believe how absolutely insane this game is.
Okay, lifesteal
and
battle cry deal 4 damage.
Doesn't
it go face?
That's a lot. Oh, it's
I was like, doesn't that go face?
Wow.
Then it's over.
Oh,
Ignis for the win.
Wow,
right?
Such
Ignis
a long game, and the Cursed Warlock's so close.
Oh man, almost got out. But...
yeah, they really did almost get out. The next turn was a kill. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they would have had Dark Vein with. They would have had Dark Vein loaded with Abyssal Wave, which would have triggered 3 things. So they needed the win there. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know what all the different discovers are from Ignis. So. I was like,
I don't know all.
Maybe
of them,
they should have.
But
Well,
they found
they found it.
But Well, yeah, I think they knew that the 5-1 gave a chance for deal 4.
4, right.
And so they wanted that. It didn't matter if it was whatever the other thing was, but they had to hit the lifesteal, and if they didn't, they had to hope for something else. So now they're gonna play for the win, and they're gonna play the Hunter first.
Hunter first, yep.
Okay. All right. I think pretty much the only toss here might be the hidden meaning. From the Hunter. I don't know if you keep. I'm not sure about the Titan Forge traps being kept, but it's a pretty decent turn 4.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And Tracker is always solid because you want to draw your card. You want to draw
Right.
your 1
Put your
cost.
ones out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that you could keep the 1 and the 2. That seems okay.
Mhm.
But a lot of times, I guess, without coin, people might not like the traps as much. I know coin trap,
Yeah.
coin forge trap is always nice.
Mhm. Yeah. All right, we'll see what they choose. They have to keep the traps. Okay. And on the other side, they only keep the Thorn Veil. They do get 1 curse card, and they get Drain Soul and Chaotic. So not a bad start for either side.
Ooh,
Portal is nice.
not the best 1 drop there.
No.
You're trying to draw. I'm pretty sure you want to make 4 1s just to
You want
create
Tremor? Yeah, I
pressure
believe you
and-
want Tremors this early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we're gonna
assume it's
forge.
a forge. Yeah.
Yep. There was no better play on this turn besides hero powering, so forging is for certain a really good play.
We have a few different options here, right? They could tap, they could use this battle cry, they could play this deconstructor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
use your
on
mana.
the other side, yeah, you like the
Nice.
do just like getting a 2/2 down.
I'm assuming we're playing the traps.
Yeah.
Basically,
For
no matter
sure.
what here. Then you could shoot the 2/2 depending on what traps you find.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
these are
These
not
explosive
great.
denied.
I kind of like bees if you're gonna shoot the 2/2 anyway. Explosive isn't exactly. I guess motion denied is fine too, but I mean, your opponent has coin in hand, so I guess they could use 3 spells in a turn at some point.
Yeah, and they probably seeing that we're going in. They could say
Yeah.
seeing that we're going into a turn that's a
Yeah.
curse turn. They're gonna pick the meaning. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're. I have to imagine that the debate there is typically between hidden meaning and cat trick, and they are gonna opt to shoot the minion.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
no
they
point
shot
in
the bees. Yeah,
going
they played
free, like-
bees, so they did exactly what you.
Yeah, this is basically like, oh, like, are they gonna make a 3/4
Mm-hmm.
next turn? But they're not.
And
and they can
they
avoid
didn't, but-
triggering they do trigger this beast, so they will get some 1/1s on the board.
Yeah.
They got Magnetic Wind Fury. So sad.
Okay.
They could avoid
Yes.
triggering the hidden meaning, which I think is what they're gonna do.
I think they should do that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
There's
they
not
can
much
play
else
off
to play
curve
on this
here
turn.
just
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, they don't have.
Oh
have
wow, what a top
block.
deck!
Yeah, indeed. Then they have the portal
They have-
follow up, which is great.
Yeah.
You could also equip the weapon and start going phase.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Notably, there is an Abyssal Wave in hand. It is, however, a turn away from this turn.
Well,
But
they have
it
Drag
would be
Below
able
from
next turn to
before.
answer the 2 portals, the 2 Eversongs.
Right. But this
Yeah.
is actually a very clean answer. They could coin out the Abyssal Wave if they really want. But then that will trigger the meaning. So
Yeah.
I guess they're thinking
sure.
about it now. Do they want to toss this hand at all?
Yeah, they could opt to do that.
Pretty aggressive, honestly, but it's not
I don't
bad.
like it.
don't
Maybe
think
they're
it's-
debating just playing the Wind Fury minion.
Also, I guess
I don't know.
I guess not seeing. I guess with no caster vision, basically, I could see them also thinking about Scourge supplies and then tossing or something weird. I don't know. I think that there is validity to tossing. I guess the worst thing is that hidden meaning pops. That would be like
Okay.
the biggest reason for me not to do it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, we're not
Okay.
pushing the face damage yet, which makes sense.
No, but the 4
4
force.
force, very
The
nice.
4 force should
Force the
garner
coin,
some
right?
response.
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh,
gosh.
that's the second waves. Okay.
No.
Yeah. I guess at this point we've talked a lot. Maybe, and I love that they're gonna play the top decked one. It's always the top
Yeah, I
decked
know.
one. Yeah, hidden meeting, and then maybe they're gonna play the other portals. There is a world where they just play this weapon.
Yeah, and get rid of one of the. I think
Yeah.
that based on how they played last, I would, yeah, this plus
Yeah,
hidden
they're just
meeting
rid of
looks
this.
really good.
Yeah.
That just seems fine.
For sure.
I do agree. There's some. I mean, you haven't. I guess because you haven't seen Symphony, you're not expecting Sargeras to come out anytime soon. So as long as
Yeah.
you get this damage, this 12 damage in early, should be fine. But I assume you have to just wave again. What else can you do?
I think they probably do. I know they don't want to trigger the thing again, but like you're triggering one of two things. You're either giving them a 4/2 with stealth, or you're giving them a random 3-cost minion.
Right.
And I don't know if I want to. They're representing a lot of damage right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
All right.
reasonable.
Yeah, they're really gonna hope for a Dark Fiend here soon.
Yeah, that would be a really good top deck at this point.
3/4.
3-mana bow. Man.
3-mana bow's good, and that's a lot of damage that can come in. And there's a Farce Strider.
Seems pretty legit. 3-mana bow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The question is, do you hero power or
After
do you
you play
play
your
the curse? Do you play the curse or do you hero power? That's the question.
Well, Curse is 3 damage, and they.
3.
But I don't.
I kind of
it
like
just
hitting the hero power here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I can see it. I mean, you're putting them
11.
at a low health.
Exactly. Got to get them
Yeah.
scared
Mm-hmm.
because you are representing
Oh
lethal.
my gosh,
oh my
the
God.
Lady Darkbane!
This is insane. So you just
That's
play that with the
insane. They
defile.
they healed.
Are you ever dead though? Are you ever worried that you're just dead? Like,
No, well,
it
you're
is
healing
pretty
up to
scary.
15.
Oh,
Like,
how are you healing?
you know that they're gonna have that
Oh,
3
right,
of their
right,
cards
right,
are
right.
curses, and that 2 of their.
You're right.
I guess you could be scared because you could say, oh, they have like exactly arcane shot and like ricochet, which we do know they have the ricochet.
Yeah. If they
There
had
is some
2 arcane
consideration,
spells, you'd be dead.
but you're at least healing off of this, right? Like you're going up to 15.
That's true. I do like that. I do think that that's probably the play you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to get the curses in.
Yeah. Realistically, they could hold as long as they don't play another. As long as they don't play another shadow spell.
Right.
But
yeah, this seems solid.
we're getting the heals. We're giving 2 curses in the hand.
Yep. And they kept the other one, so they're now starting to really push the damage.
They're
Of
at 9,
course
so
they
2
have
more
to
curses
play.
is lethal.
Yeah.
They are forced to play both, or
Yeah.
1 curse. I guess you're right. But
Well, they're going to play
They're
both.
only forced to play 1.
No point not to,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would say, at this point.
Yeah, you don't want to risk dying.
And then do you just chuck it all?
Yeah.
Kind of think yes.
I don't know. They might not want to chuck the ricochet shot.
I guess. I mean, there's no point.
Ricochet shot is what? It's 3.
It's 1 mana,
Yeah,
3 damage. You could also get an extra
Yeah.
buff to it.
Mhm.
Doesn't really make any sense. You're not playing any 9 mana cards, so
Mhm.
does seem reasonable. Coming down to the wire, coming down to the top decks, perhaps.
Oh my gosh, this is coming down to top decks, and this is a tough matchup. The Warlock is 2 curses away, and this Hunter is top decking everything at this point.
But
they are going to get a
cat.
They are going to get a cat trick, but it's just not going to be playable.
But also Scourge supplies into.
Yeah, Scourge is
Zakul?
really good. Scourge supplies into Zakul almost effectively ends the game. There is 1 curse.
Oh, there's a drag below.
So they could Scourge supplies for a Syracuse cultist here. And that would. No, that wouldn't be it. They wouldn't have the mana.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, you don't have the mana to kill away.
Do you ever just rip a Fin? Do you ever just play the drag and rip a Finley?
Looking for the answers.
You just look. You just look for. There's two chances at the curses that would end the game. and otherwise you're tossing back what is otherwise a very bad hand.
Yeah, I like playing Finley for sure. Because also, if you pick up Sagaris, that's your next play next turn,
Yeah.
perhaps too.
Yeah.
So this could definitely help.
Is it cultist? Is
And
Reaver?
also obviously gives you
Zakul?
lethal outs. Okay.
Okay,
So
Scourge.
just draw.
They are ripping it for draw.
And we don't see
Oh
it.
my gosh, my heart is in my throat.
No Tour Guide, of course. We don't need that.
Tour Guide goes, yeah.
Alright, so you can clear with this
Ooh.
3 damage. You're missing.
Oh, it's
That's lethal.
Alpamar. It's lethal. Oh my gosh.
Off the
This
top.
game gets top decked.
Well done.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Ron's team.
This curse, we did say this curse block might find a difficult time getting that win, so
Oh,
we are seeing
not
it
like
in
this.
action.
1 mana off. 1 mana off. Does it cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, both sides really duking it out, punch
Yeah,
after
played super
punch.
well.
Yeah,
Forcing the game 5.
game 5. Yeah, that game was riveting. We didn't even get to visit any teams.
Yeah.
But maybe here we can go see the game that just got top decked and see how it fares into this shaman, and then maybe we'll come back at some point.
Sure. Sorry, which side are we going?
Gang Ron's team.
Ron's team. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Disaster. Ugh.
Yeah. Finley last game, man.
The absolute bait of the top decked drag below. So brutal. And then, I mean, obviously, they were like their hand was 1 mana spell, secret, random card. So of course they top deck lethal, right?
Yep.
That's why that's
Like,
hey, that's
why
what her
wouldn't
name
they?
is. The game gets top decked.
True.
I guess we pass.
We have a lot of supplies.
A double supply means we get 4 cards. We do that
Oof.
on turn 3. Go 1, 2, 3.
Do you ever just drone and
I mean, I
Yeah.
like drone
Yeah, me
magnetize,
too.
yeah.
yeah?
Yep. And we're gonna be drawing a bunch of cards here, I think.
Well, we're going to cultists first.
Yeah.
Hey, that's annoying for the fishies. Got to play all 3 of them at once if they want to punch through that. And it's not the best turn to go coin triple fish.
How many cards do they have in hand?
9.
Okay, so if they tap, we just play cultist and mill them a card.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I did not expect that they would do that. We were always playing this regardless of
We
pretty
were.
much of whatever turn they had.
All right, bioluminescence.
Mill Titan.
Oh,
Yo.
that's good. That's good.
Love seeing the Inza mill.
I like that.
I mean, it doesn't win us the game outright, but it's good.
We need every little bit of help that we can get in Warlock v Shaman, so I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Well, we've done surprisingly well considered our matchup chart was so bad.
Yep. Telling you, never give up.
I'll just
We'll see.
I'll
seeing a
lose
sea
some
of
better
red.
matchups with Warlock and win the worst one. That'd be cool.
You never know.
Okay.
We're just supplying next turn at this point, right?
Are they hovering a fish or something else?
If we get school teacher, no. If we get anything else, probably.
Yeah, school teachers are only 4 mana card in our deck, so it's basically the only time we don't just rip Scourge supplies. Okay.
Okay. They keep the curse and gives us a chance to mill them. No,
I
don't
mean,
do
we
anything.
could tap and play the Thornveil. I kind of do like that, actually.
It basically gives us free tap every turn if they don't remove it.
Yeah.
The other option is to draw a bunch of cards. Maybe get Symphony for next turn. So
Well,
we
it's
can
draw
scourge.
2, discard 1. It's not that much. I guess
Well,
we can
and
draw
plus
3 because we can play the tour guide and tap 2.
How important is the pressure though? That's my question. Is it more
kinda
important than
wanna-
drawing 3 cards?
Yeah, I kind of want to go Scourge into Tour Guide, but I can be
I
convinced.
I mean, I do agree that it's not important enough to try to have a little bit of pressure here, and we need to find our better win cons.
Oh, let's throw the Defile away. We don't need Defile.
Well,
We already have a
get rid of that.
defile. We'll toss a defile.
Yep. We just do that.
Just tap now.
Yeah, the question is, do we
I
go
mean-
face or do we trade?
I think we trade. Always trade, right?
I want to go face.
Yeah, I want to go face. With adds a cool, that changes things, to be honest.
Also, we're holding a Drain Soul and a Tentacle for the minion on board anyway. What's the minion going to do? Hit us? And then stay alive so we can kill it?
Yep.
Not hit us, so then
score 'em.
we traded for them.
All right, well, they mill a card if they don't. Right? Oh, no, they okay. Is it heal?
How many
kill the
cards do
thing?
they have in hand?
They have 8.
8.
So we need to put 2 curses in their hand for them to.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to mill them here. I do like the option of like a Drain Soul Cultist.
Yeah, that seems
Drain
to be our
Soul Scourge
best option
Supply.
here.
Drain Soul Scourge Supplies.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. Let's scourge
I guess
supplies
we lead
first
with
then.
Scourge Supplies.
Yep.
Just keep trying to find our other stuff. Not going to discard that one.
I'm not going to discard this.
Let's go
Actually,
Reverb.
did we discard the Titan?
I mean,
it's
it doesn't win us the game, right? I mean, the only way we play it is if we get the.
They just
mean-
OTK us, right? So
You're never
do we
going to
discard the
Reverb.
Titan?
Why are we keeping Reverb?
For
Never going.
exactly Drathir on turn 10? I don't know, is that...
But then if we're on
Not
turn
enough.
10, why
Because
not?
we're already holding... Yeah, I don't know. We should get rid of the reverb, because we're
Yeah.
holding a reverb.
Although
Yeah, I
watch
guess
us
that
move.
changes things.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a second reverb for their Titan maybe, but yeah. Just get rid of that.
They have a bunch of minions. They have 2 1/1s, right, in their hand.
Mhm.
Real quick, we're gonna swap to the W gang.
Well, I mean, it would have to. Guess we could coin a fish. That feels so bad.
I know it feels bad, but like, don't we need to do, right? It's either that or we
What if
don't
we
play the
just
base.
yeah,
and
we
we,
just
like,
keep
draw.
10. What if we just keep 10 cards?
What if we like start with schooling here and then just play knowledge fish because of hand size?
Schooling.
Or you could just float a mana and play 2 fish.
Was 9? I counted wrong.
No, not like this. No,
I counted wrong. I thought that's 10.
no, with it. No,
I
I
counted
meant
this as
like
3.
no, the ancestral knowledge, not the base, right?
No,
2
but
mana.
I thought we had 10 this way. Whatever. It's fine. We needed to dump this to play this anyway. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
No, I was thinking that we just played the schooling first. That would be
I know you
like
were
get us
saying something about
one less piranha. We
it
intentionally don't
doesn't.
get a piranha in
They
hand.
have to have the other
Curse.
cultist, or is that cool here for that to make sense? Okay, the other cultist. Why not? Why not just have it? Yeah. Punish every single bad play I make.
Not bio.
Bad
All right.
play. All right, we can have as many cards. We can end on 10, right? We want to end on 10 with Abyssal Curse.
Yeah. So we probably start fish knowledge, right?
Fish. Fish, knowledge, flash.
Yeah, we see what we draw after knowledge and then decide whether we want to flash or not. We still don't have bio. We only have the crash and the overdraft to go face. So we could play 3 fish here and just clean up the board.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
Is if we clear the board, they can't set up like lethal next turn. Like they can't set
Yeah,
up
they
2-turn
kinda
lethal,
can.
right? Oh, if they
Dark
play like
On
Dark
heals
On,
them.
yeah, yeah, Dark On would. Yeah, Dark On would be 2-turn lethal.
It's good.
Good, it's a good draw.
Should we just keep this?
Probably play a fish, right? Kill the 2-2.
We have to keep 10. We have to keep 10. I remembered this time.
We don't have to. We could just eat a curse.
This doesn't mill though. It comes out before we draw. This is perfect. We can use this space.
Because aren't we like kind of banking off finding bio off the
We
lightning?
either hit Bio or Golganeth. That is not it.
Right.
Alright,
So we
gotta go
start
now,
with
right?
the reflexes, right? Yeah.
Flush? Or is this
Uh,
not enough? We need
I
draw.
think it's gotta be the flash, right? Yeah. Yep. Be coin.
Oh!
Ooh, Golganeth. Probably just take crash, right?
Does this work? We have to light.
So we could kill Darkon.
We can crash here. Right? Wait, no, we have to play Lightning Bolt here. On the Darkon. Right.
Yeah. And then what? How much is our jazz base at?
2.
3. So it'd be 3 after the lightning bolt, and then
Oh, we could just draw here instead. I like doing that.
well, you have to like, because then the lightning bolt's not gonna be 0 mana, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, well, I messed up. Again.
Lightning bolt's this thing. There we go. Okay. This works.
Doesn't really. I know I messed up. Again. Discounted, dude.
Hard.
All right. So
Alright. That was a very close turn.
yeah, some pretty complex turns like that the W gang is trying to manage, I would say. Like not only with the hand size stuff, with like the milling stuff, but then they're trying to respond to all of their draws, right? Like as they're happening live and as the rope is burning and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's tough when
Yeah,
they
the
don't have bioluminescence and they don't really have that kind of straight game plan in terms of what the turn needs to be besides clear the board, I guess, right?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, for their sake, I'm glad that they were able to find a way to get it all done before get everything cleared off before the turn was over. But we're just gonna see a Golganeth reverberations, and as a cool 20 to minion. That is a heal.
Right.
So they have to trade here, and I think that, I mean, they need bio. They don't
They need
have any way
bio,
to get
yeah.
bio. If they can trade into bio,
Yeah, there might
I
be a
think they can.
lethal
I
here,
think they have.
right?
I think they have a lethal.
Yeah,
But
I think they
otherwise,
do.
yeah, they would if they get bio.
Ooh,
Oh my gosh,
that
reflexes.
could be good. Another way to find bio here.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of ways to find it. Zap.
That's fine. Kills the Titan, gives you another
Zap kills
chance.
Titan. Yeah. They could go flash, but
Not
like
gonna.
that's risky. How much is in their hand? They have 9. They would.
Ooh, they are
They're
going
not
flash.
quite milling doing this. They find Flow Rider. They don't find.
Oh, this is milled though.
Yeah, it's milled. They don't. They're not overloaded. So they're gonna have to play Okay,
They
so
can
they're gonna have to
overload
just make some
themselves.
form of a board. Hmm?
They can
Yeah,
overload themselves.
they have to overload here.
But what do you do about the Sekul? Like, oh, they are gonna kill the
I
Sekul.
think they're just gonna play all their fishes and they're gonna have to kill. They do get it off. They do have to. They're forced to play that curse, but now start get.
Now no mana.
And now
Sick.
they have a situation
Ooh,
where
Abyssal
where it's
Wave.
late enough where a 9-mana Sargeras is
Right.
possible to come down, and I don't know how much that will matter because this game is still kind of playing on a knife's edge essentially. But they're at 24, I guess
Pretty healthy.
comfortably.
I mean, you can always
Yeah.
get just zapped from nothing, right? Like,
Yeah, they could potentially like
Bio is still, I think, a lethal.
funny.
Look at all
Yeah,
this damage. Because I think Bio
yeah.
is
No,
still
they still
lethal
have
here.
a lot of damage with Bio here.
Yeah, Bio is still lethal
Um,
here. Because they played
yeah,
the
and
Flash of Lightning, so
they did play Flash. Yeah, so and
wow.
they have 12 cards left in deck. It's not like a
So 1 in
guarantee.
6.
Yeah, it's
It's pretty good. You're
yeah,
rolling a
you're
dice,
right.
you need to hit the 6, you know?
Hmm.
But I don't
Yeah,
see
I
another
think from
play. Like, how did
I-
they gain life? They can't really, right?
they could if they don't play Sargeras, instead they play Symphony and they hit Lifesteal, deal 6.
Right. I was thinking Symphony might be interesting because you could also burn the top of their deck, which is also kind of
Oh,
interesting.
they're just gonna go for max
Yeah,
pressure.
I thought that makes sense because you don't really care
We see
that
Bio,
much.
we see Jazz Base.
Ooh, that's not it.
They have to
to
overload
clear.
Flow Rider here.
But-
It would probably almost be a guaranteed discover, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Feral. Oh, yeah, it's probably really high to get the.
Well, it should discover
Bio,
a
right?
card. Oh, discover a
It's
spell.
all from your deck,
There's
yeah.
bioluminescence.
There's Bio.
Is that
You have enough
game?
mana?
That enough
Or-
mana?
No, I think you have enough.
No, it's mana. They should have it.
This should be lethal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
That's-
sure this is lethal. They're just counting.
Yeah, they are counting it. But Bio is 3. Turn to Tides, Lightning Bolt,
It
Double
should
Crash.
be 6 times 4. It should be 6 times
Yeah.
4 is my math. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. The turns to tide is only 3 damage. You might be 3 off
Yeah, it
lethal.
is. Oh, you think they're off?
Wait. Can they tap?
Isn't Double Crash like 7/7?
I'm not sure if the mana works out. Wait, no, this is 3 mana.
Oh,
No,
I don't
they can
know
tap.
either.
They can
It's
tap.
close.
They should be able to tap.
No, they can't
Bio.
tap. They can't tap. They wouldn't have the mana.
Oh, they're so close.
They
They're
have
one
to go
mana
turn
off.
they have to, oh.
They're 1
yeah,
mana
they're
off,
so
I
close.
think.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, crash. Oh, no, but they can't get lethal. But they can clear the board and get them
They clear
really
board
low.
here, but they clear board. They leave them at 3.
Yeah, they're clearing this board. The
Yeah.
whole thing. Yeah, they
Now
couldn't
it's
get
up
the
to
turn
the
of the
other team
tides in.
now it's up to the other team to figure out how to
Come back from 3 life.
get it from here.
You can clear
They
the
do
board.
they have one curse for a clear.
Abyssal. But you no longer have taunts.
They
Like,
have
the
to
fact
heal,
that-
but
the
they
fact
also
that-
have to remember to heal. They also have to heal out of Jazz Base, and they don't have taunts coming.
Yeah, that was actually the crucial, I think,
Yeah.
the crucial
Now
goal, right?
this is where Symphony could be pretty big.
Well, you can't clear. Oh no, you can, right? You can. Wait, no. How do you clear and play Symphony?
Oh, you're right. How do you
Unless
clear
you
and play
discover off
Symphony?
this school teacher.
Maybe, but yeah, but you need to heal. Like,
You have to
problem
heal.
is, okay, yeah, they're making
have-
sure to heal. I don't know how they navigate. I'm not sure. Maybe they are gonna have to look off school teacher
Or
and
yeah.
look for a cur. The problem is they can't get school teacher, and they can school teacher. But
They wanted to file this board.
okay,
then
so they
find
want to find
something
one
off
source
of-
of damage
right,
to the
so-
file.
Well, because they can also
Okay.
use. They can also cosmic
They
chaotic
need
consumption.
They need more heal.
Yeah,
Oh, they
do-
found
need
heal.
to find healing. Yep, there it is. Okay.
It's not enough. It's still not enough. No, it is. It is. It is.
It's only 6 damage.
Oh my
in hand,
gosh.
So they're alive.
You're right. Overdraft.
No taunt.
One off
though.
lethal.
Oh, overdraft is 1 off lethal.
One off
oh my
lethal.
god.
So-
Wait, is it
No,
one
no,
off?
it's
3,
lethal.
6,
It's lethal.
7,
It's lethal.
8.
It's lethal.
Wait,
It's
am I
because they
crazy?
get an extra thing of overload. It's
Oh,
lethal.
you're right. It's exactly lethal.
Wow, that's so brutal. This warlock did
Oh.
everything it could, and it just loses. Gosh.
That's crazy.
Oh, I mean, well played. That
Very
just
well
like
played.
feels so awful. Like I feel for the other team right now. They played so well.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
They just needed one more curse. Again, I'm pretty sure they just needed to draw like a three cost curse card. to go with that wave, and it was done.
Let us definitely. I'll give them the heads up. Oh, can we not interview? Okay, never mind. Yeah, no, it's fine.
No, we don't have time. We have to move on to the hero match. Like, I guess technically we could give Ron time to set up and
Yeah.
decompress after that, because he is playing. Like, I don't know Neji. I would doubt Neji's that pressed for time.
I don't think so. Yeah, we'll definitely give him some time to recoup.
Yeah. That is brutal to have to play this, and then you immediately have to go into a match with, like, another one of THL's best players.
All right, I'm just communicating to the players in the next match. But yeah, we're not going to do an interview, which is fine.
Yep.
Partly by
Sounds good.
request, I guess. But but I just
okay.
I did think that.
Oh, maybe maybe one of them have something to
have
play
something
too,
after.
right?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah.
An hour and a half solid.
Yeah, I mean, we had an hour and a half to play the match, and they took
the whole thing.
I mean, they took the whole thing, but also it did start pretty late.
Yeah, we did start a little bit late.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was really great. I mean, it was great to hear too. It gives you a sense too of like the emotion of the games too. Like as you're swinging back and forth, like I could tell too. Like Ron and their group were also a bit not tilted, but just they're emotional because of losing some of those things, like getting top deck lethal, like putting themselves constantly in position to win that final fourth
And not
game,
win
and just not
get
getting
that
there.
get that to win. They've performed as well as you could in unfavorable matchups.
For sure. Yeah.
And they pulled it.
Yeah. And then every time
I am curious about the Curse Warlock bring, considering how much Control Warlock I've seen Ron playing.
Right.
But
well, they did bring Control Warlock as well, but I mean, it's just interesting. Like, I am curious what they were looking at, where they're trying to target something or something. Like, I do think like one of the strategies it does look like is that they did not want to ban Warrior, so like they just wanted to have decent matchups against Warrior, which allowed them to ban the Rogue. But I think the Rogue ban probably is them trying to make sure that this Warlock could get through in some place, right? So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that's tough. I mean, but again, like you could hear the emotion, and then even for the W gang, like you could hear their emotion as well, like feeling like they were struggling to play that shaman just because they're trying to manage a lot of things at once, and like that can also be very difficult as well. So, like, grats to them for getting through in a really tough spot and just doing what they needed to do, right? Because they always felt like they were so close in that matchup. I felt like, and then there's just little things, right? Little things here or there that maybe they wish they're played cleaner, but like overall, like the fact that they were able to navigate that and then find that lethal at the end, right? Like, obviously, still well played in my mind, and still, I think the small things didn't really come back to bite them in any major way, at least.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I'm not the best at picking up tiny mistakes very easily on the spot. I didn't particularly think that there was egregious misplays from like either side. And it just came down to one side not quite getting there.
Yeah, I don't think it was like, it just sounded from when we were in on their call, it just sounded like, oh yeah, like they had other plans, and so some of it was just they had an idea of what they wanted to do, and then they didn't quite were either just didn't execute or just miscounted something, and so that did make a difference. I mean, obviously that not getting a curse or allowing your opponent to give you a curse when you didn't have that intention. Certainly that does change things, but it's impressive that they kept their heads kind of cool. They went for the outs that they were presented. Every time, especially navigating a very complex deck where they're discovering all this stuff and they're constantly making decisions while the rope is burning. Essentially, like they constantly found ways. Okay, this is the priority. This is what we need to do. Okay, we don't have lethal, but we're gonna get as close as we can. Putting themselves in position where the games like that where it is difficult to navigate because you're not usually in those game states. Like you don't usually find yourself with 10 cards left and no bioluminescence, for example, like stuff like that, right? Like, and then trying to make it work, right? So I think that they did a really good job of staying in it, not losing their composure completely in those situations, and then finishing right when they had the opportunity there. All right, very good games. That's also a crucial match, I think, right? Like the 2-1 bracket, especially if this is assuming this is a 6-week thing, you don't want to drop that
Mhm.
second game, and so now the pressure is going to be on a bit for
Yeah.
the gang gets top decked for them to try to win out, the rest of the way, so to speak.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I imagine that
Yep.
they're still going to debrief for a bit, and yeah.
Mhm.
But we do have a second game here that we're at least most likely pretty sure we're going to have on stream here once we give Ron some time to rest
Yeah,
after that very, very long set.
that long match. Yeah, definitely. He can definitely do his thing.
Yeah. But we can definitely at least preview it a little bit. Or I don't know if there are other things you want to finish up about any of the matches from the last one.
Hmm?
Any final thoughts about the trios match that we
Um,
saw?
no, I think we've said a lot about it, and I don't really have anything else to add.
Yeah. Maybe they'll think twice about the curse lock. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah,
say.
I don't know.
But
That was a bit confusing. Because I know that they can play the curse lock.
sure.
Maybe they were trying to switch things up
Yeah.
because they had brought it previously. I don't know.
You mean that you know that they've been bringing what, like control warlock or something else?
They, yeah, they brought well, they brought it against my team
Control
last week.
warlock.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
so I was surprised that they didn't bring it again this week. But maybe
Yeah,
that was the plan.
it definitely has more consistent matchups, like more 50-50s into stuff rather than
Mhm.
kind of lopsided ones that Curse Warlock sometimes
Yeah,
has, right? Like you're looking for specific matchups to kind of target in on. So maybe they saw
yeah.
something in the prep that made them think that the Curse one would be better. Or yeah, maybe someone is playing that more or something. They definitely played it really well. I mean, for sure, like the games that they navigated. I liked. I mean, we came in at the beginning of one of the game five, I think, and they were talking about game four where they took the bait, so to speak, of playing that curse card before playing Finley, right? Which I thought was like an interesting
I thought that was an
observation.
interesting perspective on it. I didn't really
Yeah,
think of that as a bait, but maybe they were supposed to go looking
because
with their scourge first. Is
oh,
their
I think
perspective?
their perspective was that if they had played the Finley, they would have found Zakul, and then they could have played Zakul, which would have been a better play. But because they had played the
Yeah,
the three mana
that's.
abyssal,
I
the
mean,
yeah
yeah, I
dragon lore.
guess like
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
you're kind
I mean,
of
there's two
managing the
perspectives to
results.
take on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're basically you're analyzing based on the results, of course. But I kind of know what they mean. Like sometimes you're thinking like, how important is it for me to play Zakul if I miss right and I don't play this dragon lore,
Yeah, you're right.
is it fine? Like, is it or is it really important for me to have the mana to play whatever I find here, right? I think there's certainly validity for that perspective, but obviously they're
Absolutely.
also like, yeah, they're so close. Our opponent had a one mana spell
Mhm.
and top deck's
Yeah.
lethal. Like, I kind of I get it, like for sure from that
I get it
perspective.
as well
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I see the perspective. Um, I'm also looking at it from the perspective of I had pretty much the exact same play where I had to play a curse card, play Finley, and I had lethal with a curse draw. Now, fortunately for me, I already had Zakul played,
Hmm.
so it worked out where even if I whiffed, I still was I was
Right.
healing off Zakul.
Uh huh.
But so like I can see that they might have just said like maybe there's a way where they just go for the Finley and they just say if we hit Zakul we do it that way. But then like there's a world where like oh you get Zakul from you end up getting you have Zakul from like you get Zakul from the Scourge instead. Like then it's like
Right.
okay like it's tough it's tough. I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
reflect back on it. They're all very good players
For sure.
that we got to watch play tonight.
Yeah, and
So
hearing
absolutely,
them like put their minds together essentially and kind of talk through a lot of the
yes,
turns was really helpful. I feel like you could definitely
absolutely,
learn a lot from how they played those matches.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah. I think
Okay. It
with
looks like
that
we
match out of
are
the
getting
yeah
ready actually. It sounds like Ron is actually ready. Um,
okay
wait, I need to do your bands here, right? Sorry, because I don't have their bands.
yeah
Sorry, Ron messaged me in game, so let me make sure that
mhm.
he's also.
Yeah. So for this match we're gonna have uh Hero Series Teal Conference between. This might actually be cross conference. It's
that's a good
cross
point.
conference, but it's 22 Diamonds version versus Department of League Administration, and it's Neji Boston versus Ron Mexico. So 1 seed Hero Series action. Do you have you probably have the bands. I can
The bands are
quickly.
not quite in yet, so
Oh, okay. Cool.
yeah. So we do have the
Okay.
classes, right? Ron has the Demon Hunter,
Yep.
Rogue, Warlock, Warrior, and then Neji has the Warlock and Warrior the same, but the
Yep.
Druid and the Priest instead.
Okay.
Any thoughts
Yeah.
about what the classes, how you think this will play out? Any ideas?
So Neji with the triple control bring wants to kind of make board based, kind of wants to target board based decks. So I mean, there is a rogue and there is a demon hunter here. So I would guess we're probably seeing a warlock or a warrior ban from Neji potentially. We could also maybe see a rogue ban. Rogue doesn't look amazing considering if Ron just decides to remove the warrior with a demon hunter and a rogue.
There are cute things you can do in this situation, but I do think the Priest bring to me, the Priest Warrior, feels like, oh, we don't want to ban Rogue, like we just want to have answers to Rogue.
Oh
And,
yeah,
right?
you have
So
answers to rogue, yeah. But the druid, with the druid being in there, is so interesting. Like I would not suspect, even though there are potential for Moonbeam. I don't think Neji's gonna bring out a Moonbeam Druid here, like especially if we're leaving Rogue up because that's a 90-10. Like that's legitimately a 90-10 matchup. But yeah, so
sorry,
I would expect pretty
leaving which one up? The Rogue. You mean the Rogue versus the Druid matchup?
Yeah, Rogue the Mech Rogue versus like
Yeah.
Moonbeam Druid, the funny
Oh, sure.
spell power deck is like actually a 90. It's actually a 90-10 according to
for
stats
sure,
for the
definitely.
Rogue. So yeah, I suspect it's gonna be a regular Drum Druid.
I think that the DH bring is really interesting, especially in this format, because you can do the relic thing, which has some good
Yeah.
matchups against what Nenji has brought. You could also do
Mhm.
the outcast thing and
Yeah.
be reasonably good against two of these decks. I guess it depends on your ban strategy here.
Yeah, he probably
I think it's relic though. If I had to guess.
wants the relics here. Yeah, I think Ron's gonna go relics here, especially with a priest.
But he could also
Like-
ban the priest. That is one line he could take.
Yeah, he could.
Priest-
I know Ron does not like priest.
All right.
And sometimes like
We do have the
it could
bans.
just be where he doesn't necessarily mind playing these other matchups, like as long as he doesn't have to see priest, so he could just ban it.
The bans have just come in. It looks like, let me make sure I get it right. Ron has banned the druid,
Okay.
and Nenji has banned the rogue. So he's not
Okay.
looking to answer rogue. Has other plans for maybe some of these
Okay.
decks.
Sure.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Very
Alright,
interesting.
let me
We'll
get
have to
these-
see.
Yeah, let me get these bands up, and then
Mhm.
I'll give them the green light. Start here.
Cool.
Any thoughts about what you think will be starting from both teams, both people, competitors? This is not a team anymore.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Like I don't necessarily think Warrior is a bad lead into anything in this
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
Ron has brought, that like Neji has brought, so you could just lead Warrior if you think that's the right way. And if you, because he probably wants to keep that Demon Hunter for Neji's priest.
All right, did give them the green light, so
Okay, cool.
keep an eye out. I'm gonna do Neji on the bottom and Ron on the top.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I guess I could see a reasoning for any of the three leads. Obviously, I don't think you're leading. I think you're probably leading Warlock Warrior for Ron, and on Neji's side, maybe you want to dodge, like bringing your priest early, but I don't know.
It does seem
We'll
like
see how
Warrior,
these guys go, and we'll see what other.
Yeah, Warrior or Warlock does feel like those make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because you're probably not really targeting too much. I mean, maybe the Warlock is targeting the Warrior, so then I guess it would be Warrior Warrior Mirror to start.
Yeah, you might want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then DH is
Uh-huh.
looking to get the priest, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
and the lock is looking to answer the warrior. It's possible. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, looks like they're up.
Okay. All right. I get to watch some Amber Flight Gaming on Amber Flight Gaming action.
Yes.
I'm a very excited person. Whenever I have participated in one of these matches. Now I get to watch one. So let's
All
go.
right.
Priest versus Warlock.
Clearly, I'm not up on the hero meta. So, so interesting. Neither of them. People are saving the warrior for something, which is interesting. Or maybe you're looking to sweep
Yeah,
back.
I don't.
But we do have priest against warlock.
Mhm. Oh, Ron has brought curse again. So
Ah,
maybe he just likes the curses right now.
yeah.
For sure. Neji will know that this is a more aggressive version of Warlock, or based on the Deconstructor, because the control deck does not run this card.
I'm like really curious if this is some kind of snipe, like some kind of read in terms of bringing, curse warlock. I mean, I guess
Has
it's
some.
fine. I guess it's fine against the
It
warrior.
has.
It's good against the priest.
Yeah, it is.
It might be fine against DH,
It's.
but DH is you're
Mhm.
not expecting DH to come out first anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have that backwards, huh? Like Ron's playing the DH, so I guess the other one is the mirror, like curse against the other locks.
Yeah. So curse.
Curse is good against
So
other warlocks, generally
curse is
speaking.
good against. Yeah. It's. I think it's. So I've actually seen this chart before, so I'm gonna pull it.
It's
I'm
not
gonna
good
find
against
it and
imp
get
block, I
let you.
believe. I believe it's too slow for imp block, but outside of imp block, it has a slight edge against control and Thaddeus, which makes
It
sense.
beats control. It beats control, and it loses to imp, and it's 50-50 with Thaddeus, and it's and obviously a mirror
Okay, but this
against its
this
own deck.
is combo priest, right?
Yeah, this is combo. What
This is
is Neji
functionally
doing?
combo priest.
Neji, what are you doing? I'm so
Because
curious.
we're seeing we're seeing that you
We're
die in
seeing
3
Bone Lord
turns.
Frost Whisper,
Yes,
and we're seeing Rivendare.
in order to pull off some combos.
Yeah. All right.
That's very interesting. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that helps me understand perhaps why it's being also led first. Maybe with
Yeah.
the rogue ban, since we are banning rogue, essentially the priest doesn't necessarily have an important role to answer any particular deck. So it's possible that you're going to play it a little bit differently. Um, I mean, he's already played the switcheroo, so I think that is telling you that this is not standard control priest. The
Yeah.
Ron should have a beat on what this matchup looks like, and I think you can already see, or at least Ron has drawn into a lot of the cards that he wants because he has the aggressive line essentially. He's not just passing and hero powering and waiting around with cards that do
Yeah.
nothing like drag below. He's playing minions to put pressure, right? That's exactly what you want to do
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
Yeah, and crazy enough, this Love Everlasting essentially pass. I mean, he's killing a 1/2. Kind of feels bad, but also lets you get that Love Everlasting rolling, which is really, really going to be helpful. I don't know. I mean, I need to look at a deck list if I'm gonna understand how this combo priest plays because I definitely have not seen this deck played basically at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna look it up. Miracle Priest, officially Miracle Priest in HSR at least.
Oh, okay. I did not know this exists.
I would expect that it at least exists in some capacity. There is a Thaddeus, at least in the HSR list, um,
Oh,
as
maybe there
well
is
as
a
an
Thaddeus in
auctioneer.
here.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing some hard guessing here. This deck seems to be good against Demon Hunter, good against Warrior, so two of the things he was facing, and 50-50 against Warlock in general. These are rough stats because, of course, there are not that many games played. It's really bad against literally everything else.
Yeah. Oh my
Cover
gosh, cover
artist. I
artist.
know, like this is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
this
do. I actually, I don't know. I'm so curious about this.
transform into a 3/3 copy of a
Yeah.
minion. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining you could do that Perhaps with Auctioneer. I don't know. I don't know what that's there for. There's only one copy of that, as well as one copy of Auctioneer, and he's pulling it, right? If I put that on the top, look like, yeah, he wants that. Another Illuminate, Shadowward Death. He has a.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not being milled because of the curse, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the curse will go away.
Well, Ron is putting the correct amount of pressure, essentially, that he's supposed to be.
Yeah, Ron is hitting face.
Yep.
That is exactly what he wants to see.
Yeah, and he has a good turn here. He could just tentacle this and shoot it with the drag below, but the bad thing is your opponent has a full hand, so maybe he doesn't want to do that.
He's an arson. Okay.
Okay, nice.
Cool. I wonder how surprised he's going to be when Neji will eventually either slam a Rivendare at this next turn or make some other type of play. I'm so interested by this. He has double creation protocol. Like, this is not your ordinary priest. This is some.
I mean,
this is like some cool. This is like an interesting deck.
Judging by the number of games this deck has, like I'm curious if Ron plays a lot of Hearthstone, so I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he probably has seen this deck at some point somewhere.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
But I'm just guessing because I'm not
I
sure. Like I definitely
yeah.
have never seen this
I'm
on
as
ladder.
clueless as you are.
Like I've never seen
Yeah.
this on ladder. Obviously, he knows something is up because of the cards that are being played. So I mean, he could probably just
Yeah, I
look it
mean,
up on
he's seen a
HSR
handmaid, and like that's yeah.
if he really wanted to.
Mhm.
Yeah, your opponent doesn't play any silences, so you can just jam stuff, but you're
Mhm.
just taking so much damage. Like, to the point where clearly Neji is trying to hold 10 cards when he can, just because he does not want to take any extra damage that he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't want to take the extra damage.
His Serenity looks pretty good overall.
Yeah, Serenity will remove 3 minions.
Yeah, you do get a Reborn come back as a 1/1, but
Yeah.
you
Yep.
are starting to feel a little bit of pressure here.
And Ron isn't. It's not that far away.
Yeah, he's got one more
Like-
curse in his hand as well.
Yeah. So this has to.
He's got Darkon as
Sorry.
well. So actually,
Yeah.
he's dead if because Darkon kills him.
Yep.
If he doesn't find something. So I think this might be just over. Even
Yeah, I think
Serenity does
Neji's.
not-
I think Neji's realizing that he. I guess he can heal. He can heal. So he can heal after Serenity.
Oh, you're right.
There's not
You're
a-
right.
he
He's
can
hero
actually
power.
get the
You're right.
heal
You're
off
right.
so he doesn't
You're
die.
right. Yep, just hero power.
Yeah, and the minion also isn't 3 attacks. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right. It's only one attack. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good point. I forgot about that.
Okay.
I think you
so-
still slam the Darkon, right? But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you save it. Surprise him a bit.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay,
I
you
like.
draw cards.
I think the drawing is.
I
is
do
good
think you
here.
kind of want to surprise him a bit. I don't think you want to let him know how
Yeah.
close you
School
are.
teacher,
School teacher's pretty
heal,
good. It's a
and
4/4.
thorn.
You don't
You
need.
could probably toss the thorn veil here.
I don't think you need the drain soul, but I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't think
you
he
have
needs
a
either
drag
of
from
them.
below. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just play
Okay.
the 4/4 just because it's a 4/4. Oh. Oh, okay. He's gonna
Oh, no,
burn
he
a
wants-
card.
he's
He
gonna-
wants
he's
to burn
gonna
a
mill
card.
Neji.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what he mills. He knows maybe this is a combo deck, so if he mills something good, that's not a
Well,
combo piece.
he
but
saw cannibalize. I mean, I guess
that
he
is
has
healing.
to think that it's. Yeah, he has to think that it's.
You should know. I mean, I don't think most control priests at least are running some of the stuff we've already seen,
No.
right? Like handmaidens and stuff. I don't
No,
think
it's not
that's-
running handmaiden.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no.
You should know something's up.
Unless it's like a tech. But I don't know why you're teching when you already have enough draw.
Right, right.
Yeah, I am so curious as to what the whole purpose of like, because unfortunately unfortunately the warlock was able to create the pressure where Neji's not sitting at a like life total that's friendly to him, and he doesn't
Right.
have right now, like we're seeing, he doesn't have that extra heal.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be forced to maybe forge and play creation protocol. No, he's just going to rip it. Oh, there is the
that's the
Thaddeus. Okay, so
but you have
he's
to cheat it out with the Frost
yeah. There's
Whisperer.
no way to get it out. He has a Bone Lord, Frost Whisper. But
and then
he
coin
can't
this
remove.
curse, so he's dead.
Yeah, but Ron can just ignore it now.
Well, he's dead to the board. I mean, he's dead to the
He's dead to Darkon.
Darkon, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he's killing its own minions.
Yeah, he's at Darkon though.
But he's dead.
So all for naught. Unfortunately,
We don't get to see the fireworks.
he's not going to combo this turn. He's dead in 3 turns, but he's actually just dead right now.
He's just dead right now.
There you go.
Aw. I want to see the fireworks, but chill.
Yeah.
Way to go, Ron.
Yeah. Took, unfortunately. Well, there you go. He gets a win on Curse Lock
Yep.
in his first game in Hero.
Yeah, he shook off the bad juju. And,
Yeah, he did.
Able to come back with that decisive win. What if he sweeps here, right? And then we'll be saying like, yeah, what just happened? What happened in that first trios game, right?
Oh no, I have at least I have one first lock sweep where I was like, how did this happen? But we are. I think maybe we could move into our DM group because we're in the trios casters.
Oh, we are? Okay. I didn't notice that. Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that? I'll
Yeah, you can do that. Call me.
All right. We're back.
We're back. Okay. All right. So now that we're in a place where no one can randomly hop into the call with us, even though they probably yeah.
Yeah.
There's a warrior.
Just even for the feels, I guess it's nice that Ron gets that win from
yeah.
Playing. He was on the just for context, if people are just joining, but he was on the team that was playing Curse Lock, and then they got basically reverse swept on it. So started off here the first game. So he plays. This is his 4th game navigating that deck, and then gets the win immediately.
Is that a win tree or is that a reborn? That is a reborn.
It's a reborn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's just gonna go for the draw. He's not gonna go for the minion coin. He's not gonna go for the minion tap and make the reborn minion there.
Yeah. Well, we do see that Neji has Odin in hand. So
yes, he does.
That's exactly what he wants. And Ron very wisely knows the win condition of this matchup is draw enough cards to find that win condition. Sargeras or otherwise.
Yeah. So there's Dark Thing. He's starting to get towards some stuff. He doesn't quite have everything he wants, but also to note, I saw that there's a Dirty Rat in this hand in Neji's deck, which lets me know that he's playing a version that doesn't run the rifts, and instead he's running maybe he's running From the Depths in the deck. Maybe he's maybe has a one of, but he's running Dirty Rats.
Okay, that was in the mulligan.
Maybe in this matchup isn't key.
Maybe
he had it in his mulligan. Okay. Yeah, he had Dirty Rat in his mulligan. Yeah.
Well, he's not going to.
Yeah, I have no prior knowledge. I'm not on the team.
Yeah. Could forge this Bellowing Flames, clear the board for fun. You could hero power and draw 2 cards. That'll burn cards. So I guess you're not doing that.
probably just forging and hero powering here.
Yeah, you could also just hero power, take it easy. This board is not incredibly threatening.
No.
And you have 10 cards, so you hold that curse. I like how all of these players we've been seeing, and these are all high-level players, obviously, really pay attention to hand size, and then whenever you can, when you're not going to mill a card, you just hold that curse so that your opponent can't play Zakul on curve, for example, or at least doesn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would do it I don't think he would Zakul on curve anyways in this matchup, probably. But maybe there would be a reason to do it, I guess.
The Dark Fiends have drag below loaded in them.
Yeah, I could have seen a reason to do that, but Ron says we're sending it all back.
We're looking for Sargeras.
He wants to find. I think he wants Sargeras.
Yeah. Oh, there's a cultist.
Let's find another curse, but he can't play it. Yeah.
Oh, there's more pressure. 4/4. That's nice.
Yep.
No Sargeras on the bottom either, so it was right in the middle. But now it's.
Ooh, that's a drag below.
Can find it. Very nice.
So Ron's game plan went from I think 1 curse card in hand to 4.
Yeah.
That's quite
Oh,
good. There's the
a final
depths. Yeah. Okay.
Now you can definitely, you're gonna probably Bellowing Flames is 4/4. I guess you could depths
Probably.
after that. What else can you
Sure.
do? Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah.
I don't really see another awesome play. You could also, if you're gonna depths first, maybe in case you find something awesome that you want to shield luck into.
Yeah. I don't really know if there is that.
I can't think of
So
anything that's that awesome that
yeah.
you would want to play besides just
Yeah.
killing this 4/4. Oh, he's thinking about Brawl,
Yeah.
maybe? Oh, okay. That's
Oh, okay.
interesting.
We're gonna rip the brawl instead.
That
Okay.
is
He
interesting.
didn't like the odds on the bellowing to
I
remove enough,
guess.
but
But I
he
think the
gets
only
a,
thing you
a
really
1-3 and a 1.
Yeah, the only thing I feel like you really care about is the 4/4 though, but maybe the value of this brawl is just gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
My only thought with the brawl is like, yeah, I guess there's not really a lot of situations
Yeah.
where the brawl is that great, especially after Sargeras and things like that. You probably
Yeah.
can find better uses
I
of it.
think so. I guess. Yeah, he's debating between probably chaotic and reverb. He picks reverberations, which I don't mind at all. Is that a mill?
Ooh, that is a
That is a
mill,
mill.
but Neji doesn't care because Odin in hand. Ooh, that is a good card though, but
That is a good mill.
like that would have been a
For Ron,
nice.
for Ron, that's a good mill.
Yeah, for Neji, he would have liked to play that on Curve because
Sure.
he could have, and it would have done a pretty good job clearing this up actually.
Yeah. Now the flames is a full clear if he wants to take that. But we're
Right.
gonna go. I think we're gonna go fishing first.
Yeah, look for something
Storm
good.
Hammer. Oh,
Ooh, the
and
hammer is
Steam
very
Guardian.
nice.
Hammer is quite nice, especially looking at an Odin in
Right.
hand.
Next turn theoretically is Coin Odin, although your opponent is probably going to put some pressure.
Yeah.
So he picked the Blade Storm. Interesting, getting ready perhaps
Okay.
for Sargeras.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
a
guess-
Darkon that he can't, or a Darkon that he
Sure.
can't answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Ron's going to try to put it, I assume, as much pressure as he can here.
Yeah. Well, Neji can't mill, so Ron is just gonna
Oh,
put curses in
It
hand.
is going to mill. Oh, you're right. He can't be milled. You're right. But we're just
cannot
going to
mill.
do as much pressure as possible. Yeah, you're right. The game
Yeah, for
plan
sure.
switched once he got all those curse cards. He keeps
But this
seeing more
warrior's
curse
at
cards.
11. Like,
And yes, exactly.
I don't
So
know
you
if I
cannot
don't know if like Neji might look at this and say, I don't know if I can survive if I coin Odin here. Like, I'm taking that already. One more curse is lethal, and I mean we see that he has it. But
Yeah.
Neji doesn't know if he has it, but he knows that there's any possibility of top deck.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, unless the thought process is that the only way you win this matchup is by Odining, right?
You don't coin. Yeah, you never coin Odin. He can make armor here.
Right.
He could. Like, he obviously can't Finley away. He doesn't ever want to Finley away the Odin. That's a decent card.
Helpful.
Like, yeah, he can.
But doesn't he have
he
to
can
toss
play one
the
of his
curses?
curse.
Is that just
Yeah,
totally
I wonder if he
wrong?
like tosses one curse and coins out of Craftsman Hammer, but he might just have to play both. Like,
yeah, that's
and
not
just
a bad
kind of hope
idea.
there's no. Yeah, because Dark Vein. I don't know if Dark Vein would still be like. So from Neji's perspective, I don't know if Dark Vein is still the drag below. Me personally, I haven't kept track.
I think it is. Yeah, it's still the drag below.
Okay. Like,
you can
like looking at it from perspective that doesn't have caster vision.
Okay, so he has a full hand on purpose. So I think like that was probably the line. Just fill your hand. So we'll take 3 damage to face, basically.
Yeah, and now Ron will do his best. That is Sargeras next turn.
Ooh.
He can do his best to play some stuff here. He can.
That's
nice. He can clear here. He can clear the minion off and go face. That is a magnetic reborn. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. There's another drag below. We can save it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a 10 life, man.
Yeah.
Life is not easy.
No.
If you are Neji here.
Like Odin, like he doesn't even know if he can Odin. He might have to. He has to Bladestorm, but at least he has the Bladestorm, so he could Bladestorm first.
I think you can equip this weapon and hit it to face, and then shield slam something. But
okay,
I'm not sure
I don't mind that. Yeah, you're right.
What else?
The shield slam that's a lot of
Honestly,
A lot of
the other thing you're trying to
sort.
do is, can you refill your hand? No, you can't do that. You can't refill the hand and leave these minions up.
Yeah.
You can get kind of close. If you wanted to do one turn of that, you could. You could axe. You could play the armor, and then you could just shield block, and then hero power, and that would allow you to keep a full hand, I believe.
Mhm.
It's just that you won't clear anything at all, which
Yeah.
feels a little bad. Oh, you don't even hero power. Sorry, you can just play that shield block. You still have 10 cards right now. You could, I guess, you could also just hero power and not play the shield block, which is fine too.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess you are more afraid of curses. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's
So he is
gonna
gonna
just
clear something. He's gonna clear the three.
he's gonna leave space for one curse in hand. That's a Symphony, but also that's a Sargeras.
I think
I
it's
don't see where
Sargeras.
Sargeras isn't
Yeah,
alone
I
here.
think, and then you taunt up. And
Does
then
he go for the line he did last game where he
I am
takes the
sure this is taunts. Yes.
he takes the taunts.
For sure,
No.
this is gonna be taunts.
For sure. That last so
Oh, top
we
the
will,
top. It's a brawl.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Brawl is good. For sure.
At what point is this Odin ever gonna come down?
I don't know. Like it's so the
Okay.
tough part is that the 2-1's there, and the 2-1 becomes a 1-1, which means that Blade Storm isn't any good. Like otherwise you could have a world where you went Odin coin Blades, where you went Odin coin, shield block.
This did feel like a situation where you're kind of hoping that your opponent just doesn't have Sagaris, just because there are situations where you could Odin and then like coin out something, right? Because you still are holding onto coin. You could coin out something that helps you remove, or something that helps you gain armor and remove.
We are gonna Odin.
Whoa, we're Oding here with.
What are we coining?
Wait, what are we?
Are we coining a shield?
What was the
bash?
reason
Are we
for
coining
this?
a bash? Okay.
I guess.
Well, he has. I mean, he has to guess, and I wonder if Ron's only curses left are Zakul and Abyssals.
Uh-huh.
So that might be his perspective on it. Okay, he is going to point out the bash. Okay.
Well, I think basically Neji has identified the fact that this now that he knows the opponent has Sargeras, there's no way for him to win unless he plays Odin. And because in the past, if your opponent never has Sargeras, you will find a space to play it, and you can play it kind of slow. But now you kind of know, okay, like we gotta go, and otherwise we just lose, right? And so there's no point in holding to play around curses anymore, essentially. So
now Ron has to figure out. Now Ron has to figure out what to do here.
Right.
He's gonna play the Symphony. Okay. Symphony, lifesteal, deal damage.
Pretty good. The taunt is also pretty good, but yeah, this makes sense. You're gonna put out 2/6/6 taunts anyway, most likely.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
Here comes a curse as well. Okay. And you can destroy
Singular
this
first, and then he can use, and now he can chaotic consumption.
Right.
And still keep a 1/1.
Oh, you can also just trade soul. Yeah, just gain some life. That I like that a lot.
He's gonna trade. Yeah, he's gonna do it with a trade. Okay.
You want to create board space anyway, so this 1/1 wants to die, and that way I'm assuming you're getting 6/6 taunts. Yep, 6/8 taunts. Ooh, now the brawl looks real good, I guess.
Brawl looks nice here. At 7, he has.
Rip that thing.
The brawl hits. Yep. Brawl comes out.
There is one minion that he wants to survive. That is the 1/1. It does not survive.
That is a 3/4.
It's quite good.
Yeah. Well, you have to play the curse, or you risk losing to another curse.
Well, you can gain life, but you're right. I mean, you can't really take 5 damage at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
The real question is, do you have to just swing into this 3/4, or are you going to play the Blade Storm? That feels horrible. I don't think you do that.
Oh, it does.
I guess you swing in. You can't swing into it because it won't die unless you gain armor. I'm trying to think of ways to play something like From the Depths or something else besides huge armor gain.
He does have discounted cards on the bottom of his deck.
He is going for it. But
if he's gonna Finley, you have to pick the one you don't.
Oh, he's gonna Finley.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Rope
I mean,
is
he's got to put
burning.
that he's.
I think the scary
Putting the
part is
curse
the
in his
rope is
deck.
burning. Shoot that, go.
He got it out when he needed,
Oh!
and he
Did he
dealt
get the swing in?
damage. Yeah, he got the
Okay,
swing.
got the swing.
He didn't get
He
the
could
heavy
have gotten the
plate.
heavy plate as well, but which is unfortunate. But
Okay, that's a Dark Vein.
that's also a Viper.
Is that gonna have a? No, it won't. It'll have heal. But he's gonna set up. This is 2 turns from Ron.
Yeah, and he can play the 4/4, and you'll get 2 more taunts.
Yeah.
But we do see a ton of armor gain and a Prison of Yogg. It's always fun times.
Yeah. So we might
I do think
see a
that'll be
Yoggers here.
okay. Do you trade the Viper first, or do you just rip the Yogg first?
Yeah, I think trading the Viper would be fine to start.
You also know that you're playing this Abyssal Curse. Like, there's a 100% chance that you're using 2 mana on that.
Yeah, but I wonder if if he's gonna go for the Yogg line, then he's not.
Yeah.
He's almost just like saying, I don't know if I'm gonna win this.
Right.
Well,
because he has to clear this
like,
board. And he doesn't have any board clears. And I don't think there's any board clears left in the deck. There's one more Blade Storm that costs 2 mana, I
yeah,
think.
but it's at the bottom of his deck.
And now it's at the bottom. He only has 8 cards, but still, yeah, it's at the bottom. It's bottom.
It's close. It's got to be close to his draw because he put a lot of cards back in his
Okay,
deck.
because Blade Storm is a perfect out here. That is
There's
not it.
Ignis.
That is
Ignis can't really do it. All right, he's gonna play the Yogg.
Yeah, he needs to clear now.
I might have shield blocked to see if that was a Blade Storm, but I think he
Point to
knows where it
face.
is.
Oh, God!
Oh, he's dealing 4 to himself. Oh,
Oh, lifesteal,
here's the heal.
Okay, there's some...
He gets. Oh my gosh.
There's a minion gain a copy. That's...
He's
not
forced to play the curse
helpful. And
here.
you play the shield block, right? And do
Yeah, you
play the
have to
heavy
shield
plate
block
too?
here. Huh?
Are you worried about death that you have to play the heavy plate? I guess you want it.
Oh, you're right. He probably had to.
You want the heavy plate for damage.
Oh yeah,
to
he has
face.
to lose the curse, but his next curse is
Next
his next
curse
curse
is
is
death.
7 anyway, so a next curse
so it's
loses,
over.
and there's Dark Vein.
And there is Dark Vein.
Like, yeah, so I mean, from our perspective, we know that
Right.
the curse is there. There is a defile.
I think he understands that he's not going to get 22 damage of life off of this warlock if he can't get that armor into the face.
Yeah.
So it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you're playing armor to survive, and
Right.
you're not swinging it into
Exactly.
stuff, like it's you got it. There it does come a point where you understand I'm not likely to win it, and now honestly, Ron's in a good situation where this is probably a control warlock from Neji. If it's not, I would be surprised.
This is the redemption story of the curse
It's control. So this is favored for the curse lock. I mean, it's control lock. Control warlock can still do stuff in this matchup. It's
Yeah, I don't think it's
unwinnable.
like
nothing's
it's super,
nothing's
not
unlosable.
super,
It's
right.
No, it's
a 45
it's-
55, so it's not nothing
Yeah, it's-
insane.
Oh yeah, okay. let's see.
Supposedly, at least top 1,000 since the last patch.
Top 1,000, it's 55-45.
Right. So
Yeah, so
Oh,
these
he's
players are
playing
not only
Renthal.
Legend top 1.
that's
Oh, it's 40
interesting.
cards. What
That
is the
is
matchup then
interesting.
here now, having that extra health to go through?
That is a good question. Let me see.
I'm not sure.
what it looks like.
I don't exactly know, and I would suspect there's not enough data.
It's still, yeah, there's not a lot of data. So it is, at Diamond to Legend at least, it's still 45-55, so it doesn't gain a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that's Diamond to Legend, so.
Oh,
hard
like
to
looking
say.
at a 40 card list?
Right, yeah, looking at a 40 card list.
Okay. Gotcha. So so there's really nothing lost or gained.
Yeah.
It's just what you feel comfortable with. I know that 40 card Warlock and Warrior have been becoming more prevalent. Okay.
Probably makes room for these dirty rats, right? So I'm sure there's it's just what you're expecting, the kind of meta you're in. Although this list that I'm looking at does not play dirty rats, so that is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
These dirty rats that he seems to keep teching it to the warrior as well, right?
Archon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty typical card that's a pretty typical card when you're not playing, like when you're playing warrior into like anything, warlock into anything, warrior into the mirror or anything else as control. You want the rats. So
I want to know what's in
Yeah.
the band. What's
Me too.
in the ETC? Oh, but do you just create a 5-drop weapon? Let's go.
I think he's gonna make a weapon. I think the weapon.
Alright.
I think this is a good play. Because there's no, you don't need a 10 here. 5 should be enough if you're really looking at it. There's lifesteal, and there
Armor.
is armor
if you
or
really
4-cost
just
minions.
want to survive forever. Okay,
Yeah,
and 4-cost
he takes
minions.
lifesteal,
Got it.
and he takes lifesteal, and he takes 4-cost minions.
Yeah. Makes sense. That is a very big tempo play to get Ignis down this early and then get the 5-drop
Yeah.
on 5.
Yep. Looks like. All right, Ron is going face.
Ooh, Doomkin on curve.
Doomkin is
This
good
is
on
looking
curve.
great.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
okay.
5. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not great, but not bad.
Yes.
Could be worse. What do you do if you're Ron here? This is not looking great. You see this weapon. Does not feel great.
Doesn't
It's going to
have
feel
curse
worse once
guards.
this Doomkin comes out too, unfortunately.
Yeah. I guess.
You've got, what, 9 cards in hand?
I guess you can go for like the thorn. You can like decide if you want to go. Okay, yeah, tour guide is good.
Mortal
He
Eradication.
really just wants to find his symphony.
Yeah, good
There's
point.
a dragged, a deconstructor, and a Finley. He can
Finley, he
Finley
wants
here.
the Finley here, right?
You can
This
Finley here.
hand is
Yeah.
not good.
This hand is not it. There's no curses. Yeah, you lose Darkon, but like
Yeah.
this matchup is like
Oh, he's gonna
Darkon's.
tap
Oh,
first.
he found Sargeras.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? You know what? It's not bad to throw that back.
No, I don't think he's going to. That probably was kind of the attitude here. He did have an almost clear of the minions with the Mortal Eradication, but this Doomkin is going to feel real bad, and I don't know if he throws this hand back because he feels like Sargeras is never going to get played. I mean, this is not like
especially because you want to just look to grab it with Symphony,
right?
And he doesn't draw the Symphony, so I don't see a reason to.
There's a pretty good chance. You only have 12 cards in deck. Okay, he's gonna play the.
Yeah, he
the curse
has to give the curse.
Okay, okay.
But it is a full clear.
Yeah. Maybe he's just decided that we're not throwing Sargeras back. It's just that he's
fine.
about to draw another card. He's gonna have 9 cards in hand with 11 in the deck. Throwing it back is a very high chance of guaranteeing that you get the movement of Symphonies, right? And you can play that next turn on curve.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that could be also one of the lines he might end up taking. I mean, the truth is, it's not like Control Warrior is going to beat you down. Like that's not really what is going to happen here. And in fact, this list that's running 40, I guess I really do wonder what's in the band and whether or not he ever goes for a Dirty Rat play at some point. Maybe after he sees the Finley, he's just going to assume that, or maybe he's waiting for the Movement of Pride, right, to pull out the 3 mana.
Yeah,
so I guess if you're waiting
for
that long,
of Pride.
Honestly, it might just come out in the same turn. So.
Yeah.
Ooh, a 4/8.
Oh, that's Hadonis.
Dang.
That is a card, but I don't think he has any heal. So. Oh, we're gonna get to see what's in the band. Let's go.
Band?
Nether
Whoa, Jiraxis! No wonder.
Oh, it's Lord Jiraxis. He wants the forever pressure of Lord Jiraxis. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Okay, that helps me understand what this deck is functionally trying to do.
It's functionally trying to never run out of pressure.
Exactly, it just beats control, right?
He's gonna throw the curse. Okay, you know what? Respect.
We're just gonna beat control decks. Like we just want to beat control decks with this deck. Curse is usually geared pretty well to handle this, but he hasn't been able to get that much pressure.
Yeah, this to me has to be a throwback, and you probably find your Symphony. He's like if it's one of his middle 2 cards, like fine.
This is partly why Doomkin is just so good in this matchup in this kind of game, especially on curve, right? When you hit it on 6 like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Insane. All right, well, you swing and play the Lord Jiraxis, right?
Probably.
I mean,
can't see a reason to not do it.
I can't either.
Neji does have some Neji has mounting pressure.
Okay, you're right. I mean, you could play the Astalar because then you are showing, hey, I've got follow up that will kill you. So you could
True.
just try to put as much pressure as possible and
It's like
hold the
Ron
Jiraxis.
doesn't have a good answer to like
Yeah, maybe see
just
what comes
pressure.
out of this box first. The 3/3.
Yeah,
Average.
it's a 3/3. Yeah, like
I think he's
Rat.
going.
I think there's enough
That's
cards in
Astor.
hand where like Rat doesn't look that appealing to me. But
And
yeah,
here comes the
Neji's just
Astor.
tossing all these curses, staying at full health.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this
I'm
looks
not sure.
like honestly, this is actually starting to look good for this Warlock.
Oh, there's
Symphony
Symphony.
of
It's too late though.
Sins, but I don't know what it's doing.
You find some kind
So
of cheeky defile play.
I think that's
can
what you have to look
almost get
for.
the 5/5. You can't quite get the
He
5/5.
does have Oh, you're right. Yeah, he can't quite get the 5/5
Oh, he'll just kill
unless
it
he
with
wants
the
to.
Drain Soul. So
Yeah,
what is
okay.
that? 5/7. That's exactly 7 mana.
Yeah, that's
But
exactly.
you're left at 3 life from the Astalor that is coming.
Oh,
But at
yeah.
least you're alive. I don't. Not sure how you
Yeah.
do this without. I'm not sure if there's another way. Because how do you? I don't think there's
Yeah, I
another
mean,
way.
Ron sees the line. He just has to say it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's going to be at 3 life. I assume it's just going to be Astalor tap or.
He's actually, yeah. I mean, there isn't 2 extra damage.
Astalor and Watcher play a 2/3.
Yeah.
Why not?
Play the Watcher
Oh,
first.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Look for
See
the
what you get.
holy. Yeah, just
Sure.
because. Oh, it's a hammer that can go face next turn for 3 damage.
True.
Almost lethal.
Now, Ron does have some stuff here that he could, like, Symphony does have some decent possibilities to, like, potentially help out. But
Obviously, he killed the 8/8
But,
though, right? He can shoot this 8/8 and gain life. Oh, he can do yeah. That's beautiful. Clear the board, gain up to 8. So now he's out of lethal range. Very good.
yeah, he's out of lethal range. Yeah.
Doing well. Now do you slam Jiraxis and go face? Oh wait, you have an 8/8. There's an 8/8 there. I forgot.
Yeah,
There is an 8/8, which is a little bit annoying. You Gigafin this? No, I don't think so.
No. I don't like the Gigafin.
You could Dirty Rat and Gigafin. Oh, he's doing it. And he missed.
Oh, he missed Sargeras.
He missed it. Well, I assume this has got to be the Gigafin line. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to. It's just a 2/2
I guess
and a 4/4.
he could just play the Drain Soul on the 8/8.
Right.
Even though you're wasting it, or you can just Hammer of Wrath his minion, or you go. I don't know.
I guess yeah. The 2/2 is a little annoying because he'll heal
He's
back
going
2
face.
life.
Going face, but what can he find?
Oh,
Symphony of
is
Sins.
lethal.
Oh,
it is lethal if he finds it.
He can win the game potentially.
Do you just go for it here? You just
no.
I was gonna say yeah.
You could go for it. Really, there's not that much risk.
Right.
But.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I think he keeps the shard because Sargeras you can silence its taunts and push 3 damage to face.
Taunts.
But now you have multiple outs for lethal. There's 2 outs for lethal for Symphony. We're not gonna go for it.
I would have definitely gone for it probably here. He's in the silence.
It's lethal. Duh. He has 2 minions. He has 2 minions on 2 damage on board.
Okay.
Very nice. All right. Well,
I forgot about the shards. Okay.
The curse lock does not complete the streak.
Doomkin on 8, good. Or Doomkin on 6.
Yeah,
like
Doomkin on 6.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure that was like backbreaking, unfortunately. Like Ron he didn't draw like Dark Fane, he didn't draw Abyssals. Like, I mean, even if they don't matter, like he can at least give Neji some curse. Like he didn't really give Neji a lot of curses that game.
Right.
But yeah, now he has to have his response for this control warlock.
For this insane control lock that is just playing till the end. And he's seen the tech too, meaning he knows Lord Jiraxis is there. Like he basically knows what this is trying to do. And so the warrior is gonna come out and it's a slightly different. It's a control warrior. Like, sorry, when I say that I mean a control warrior. An
Like,
old school
what?
one, right? Because it's dredging. I'm assuming it still plays
Yeah,
Odin.
it's no.
But
This is 40 card. This is 40 card warrior. I
I
think.
see.
I think this is 40 card Odin because they're running titles.
Oh,
He's
there's
running
a Lord.
Lorthamar. Lorthamar Theron. Oh my gosh. Value fest. Let's go. Now the question is does he how fast is Ron Finley this hand back?
Yeah.
When does he Finley this card?
I assume
this
it's
hand
after
back to his
Lothar comes out, right? Lothar Finley.
I
Right?
guess. I mean, but he just drew he just
Oh,
drew stuff that
man.
like you
Look at
like he's
this
just
trench
drawing stuff that you
stalker.
do. I know the trench stalker, all this stuff.
I know what you
That's
mean.
unfortunate to
Like you want to
yeah.
double those stats, right? Is what you're saying, right?
I just think that Neji might have this warlock might be able to be slightly more proactive than what your hand is looking at,
Right.
and so he might want to
Get rid of the
look for stuff in the middle of the game. Like
right.
obviously Lorthamar is very strong, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like he's just going hero power passing on 2, which is expected.
I think what's kind of tough, like at least from my perspective, Ron does know what this control
deck
warlock is functionally.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
what's tough is like to know what your win condition in some sense is, given the amount of control that your opponent is playing. Like how much removal do they have? Do I need like a Lorthamar on 7 followed by as many big minions as possible, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I assume that the deck plays Odin just because I see armor cards.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
I wonder if this
Odin.
is gosh, my brain wants to say that with the way that this deck is constructed that it's somehow Black Rock and Roll Warrior.
Right.
But
it might be.
But I don't know.
Yeah, let me
I have heard that 40 card warrior is a thing.
Right.
It's gaining popularity. Like I think 30 card is 30 card is what people have been playing, but I think maybe seeing 40 card warriors, 40 card warlocks has mean okay, maybe we have to go to 30 cards as the warrior. That's a great card to pick up.
Okay, well, I just tried to look up a deck that has Lorthamar and Renethal and is a warrior. It came up empty. So
no,
see.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
This is a homebrew. Let's go.
Can't find anything the last 30 days. So from Diamond to Legend. So
cool.
We'll see. We'll see what's in
here.
here.
Because you're certainly not going to find it at Legend or Legend Top K.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah, you're definitely.
So we are going face.
Yeah, it's Ron's favorite thing to do.
Yep. That is the play.
That is an Ignis without.
But you can set it up next turn.
Yeah, all right. So band ETC seems like a good play here.
Okay,
we know what's in the band.
We've already seen the band.
We know the band. The band is Nether, Jaraxxus, and something else.
That's right. Does he play the Jaraxxus here? He doesn't. He doesn't know what this warrior is yet. Oh no, he knows it's Renethal. He knows it's Renethal. So
he knows it's Renethal, but he hasn't. But he's only seen cards that are
exactly
run in regular lists.
Yeah. So I don't think. I think you just assume it's just 40 card control.
Yeah.
Which
I agree.
No, it's not. I was gonna say it kind of is, but I can't find a 40 card control list.
So Neji's gonna go for a little board here.
Okay, there is a 40 card control list that runs Title Revenant.
Yeah, because Title Revenant doesn't seem terrible after Odin is played because you get a lot of armor.
Right, but
it's essentially 13 damage.
There's only one list that does out of a lot.
Oh, it is Black Rock and Roll.
Okay, there we go. Well, again, this control list also runs Black Rock and Roll. It does not run Theramar though. But it does run Odin.
Does he just whisk this back to his deck now? Because he has the Black Rock coming.
Right, that's true.
No, he doesn't. Oh, interesting. He has enough minions in his deck that he's gonna just rip that next turn probably.
Yeah. The question is, do you play the Finley right after that? Is that the next play?
It could be.
Finley.
It could be. Lorthamar would want me to lean no.
Right.
Because anything that was on their bottom, you kind of want to double.
Right.
But
Right. That's true. Yeah, maybe he just thinks he needs that much pressure, right? Where every single
Yeah.
minion functionally forces your
Yeah.
opponent to clear.
All right, so Neji's gonna play his Ignis here.
Is it a
gonna look at
5?
It is a
looks like
5. Poisonous, adjacent, and immune.
He doesn't know
Yeah,
that
nothing he really
kinda
wants to see. Oh no, it's a 10.
Oh, it is a 10.
This is a 10.
That means, well, I'm gonna guess he picked the adjacent then, most likely.
I think it's adjacent. It has. I would guess it is.
Random ACOS minion? Or do you want the armor?
Maybe. I don't know.
ACOS minion. Okay, he picked the immune.
If Ron, I'm gonna be so curious about Ron's thought process with this deck bring. If he wins this match, I think this is really cool. I mean, it's definitely a mind game type of thing.
All right.
Like,
there's the rock
he
and
knows
roll.
he must have an idea of what Neji likes,
Okay, you're right. It's rock and roll into Theron into
and then you
Finley.
yeah, or you
Holy
could Revenant
smokes.
depending if you have to Revenant.
But there's a lot of pressure coming back on me. I guess you're
Oh
sitting
my
at,
yeah,
you're
the way the
sitting at a
Darkon
lot, but
coming out here
Darkon,
is
yeah,
Darkon means that the 7 Ron might not be able to get away with playing the
I don't
7
think-
7-mana 7/7 do nothing.
Oh, there's a Kaz,
Kazgaroth.
but it's only got a 1 and 3 to hit the right minion.
Yeah.
Bladestorm
okay.
leaves it as a 6/2, and then what? And then you just run into it? Okay.
He's gonna Craftsman Hammer, yeah.
Okay, well you can play,
That's-
yeah, you can play the Theramar and the Finley next turn, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You're still on track more or less.
Definitely. I don't think Neji's ever playing with this rat. If
You
he
play
knows
the rat?
he should know.
He's
Is he
gonna
gonna
do it.
rat?
No, I feel like. Oh, he got it!
Oh, he hits the Lorthamar.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I was gonna say,
heartbreak for Ron.
If there is a turn for him to play the rat, it is now because he thinks it's Odin that he's ratting out on 8.
Oh,
And so the rat
Really?
makes a
I
lot of
guess if you-
sense
you're
when you
right.
can't pressure, and he can't
I
really.
mean, he saw the
pressure.
Black Rock, so maybe he was trying to hit the Lorthamar there.
Well, he still
But
doesn't
yeah, you're
really
right.
know that Lorthamar is in the deck. He just thinks it's Odin because Odin is probably
Mhm.
somewhere in this deck.
Oh, it probably is.
Uh,
But you see, I see Black Rock. Like, I guess I've played the deck. I played this deck at
Right.
the beginning of the expansion.
uh-huh.
Like, and I thought, like, not a 30 card version,
Right.
and with less spells, that was trying to just hit the one card. But yeah, oh my gosh,
Oh my
Remornia.
goodness.
That is a big
It's
Remornia.
a massive
Oh my
Lordia.
gosh.
And you,
Yeah,
you
that
can
is
do a lot of
probably-
damage to face right now.
You.
And you're also
Yeah.
gonna Finley,
Oh my
yep,
gosh.
because you're not waiting
Let's
for.
see what else is buffed. Can we get a buffed Trench Stalker?
I know.
Like, Neji's gonna die quickly.
Let's
here.
go.
It's pretty likely.
All right, here we
There's
go.
a Stone Skin Armorer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's a Minotaurin.
That's a 17-18.
Where's the Odin? The Odin's not here, but there's a Trench
Alright,
Stalker.
Yeah, Neji. I don't know if Neji has a Viper in his ETC. He
Oh,
does.
he does,
ripped
he
it. He
does,
must
he
have an
does.
ETC. He must have the Viper.
Yep, there
He
it is.
does.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Golly, unlucky.
Oh my
But-
goodness. Okay, well he's still at 21, and there's gonna be probably a Trench Stalker that's gonna live.
Yeah.
Where's that
Trench
Odin?
Stalker
I'm
is so
sure the
big.
Odin is somewhere.
I don't think there's an Odin here.
You really don't think so?
I'm
Oh my
ju-
god, 17 to
I-
face. Good lord.
I just kind of don't think that there's one there. Neji heal.
And then he
He's
can
got to. I don't know.
Gigafin
He's
if
got to look
doesn't
for it.
find-
He's got to look for removal.
If he
Clean the
finds-
scene is not it.
That's not it. But he
Clean the
has
scene is not
Gigafin.
it?
He has Gigafin.
Oh, he's Gigafin.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah.
That's the answer here.
Yeah. You're right.
But
Um,
acute brawl.
Yeah, 'cause-
there's lots of things that could.
the brawl is there, but I also think that I kind of just think that the title Revenant is fine here. You
Right.
just get your whole.
You
You
just
just
get your
get.
stuff
You just get an
back.
8/9. You just get an 8/9 back. Like, I think
Yeah.
he's okay just playing
And
his
then
title
you
Revenant.
Also
And
draw
then
2
Stone
cards.
Skin Armorer.
Why not? Let's draw 2 cards. Ah, yeah. See. Okay. Keep it rolling.
Steamy boy in a trial. Okay.
Trial. Very good.
Yeah. Well, this is looking.
What is this?
This feels like it's so close to Ron winning, but I know that it's not over yet. Unfortunately, there is no more ETC, which means there's no possibilities of getting a
Jiraxis.
Twisting Nether.
Right. Or yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You can't play that
And
Sand yeah.
Also, he didn't draw his Sargeras, so
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
You have to prison. I
could-
think that's what he's trying to think through here, right?
Yeah, he's probably thinking if he just has to prison for it. Yeah, I agree.
What else can you
Is
do?
there
You can find a lighted burns, which doesn't
Yeah, he
quite
could find a
kill,
lighted-
but kills enough. Honestly, you're still dead to the board. Never mind.
You are dead to board. Yeah.
You reverberate the 13-16, but then what?
Yeah.
Because if you're
I
gonna
don't
play the
know.
prison no matter what, you might as well play it first, right? Oh,
Yeah.
this is interesting. What are we doing? Is there a defile? This.
There
Oh,
is a
there's
defile.
a defile with the
Almost.
2/3. All right, very nice.
My
Well spotted.
gosh.
Really well spotted.
Mhm.
And so that's a full clear.
Yeah.
Very good. Gets another clean the scene. These will both be buffed. I don't know. There are some minions that have 6 attack or less, so could come in handy. Although most of the minions are above. There's only 1 minion actually. Oh no, 2 minions now. That's 6. Oh, he's gonna
Mhm.
play them both because. Okay, he does get a 7/9 down. Oh my
That's a
god,
stalker.
that's a fat stalker that will basically lethal your opponent.
No, that is only an 8/9.
Oh, right. It didn't get buffed from before.
Yep, did not get buffed.
Ooh, so
Okani.
clean the scene is good.
Clean the scene kills 2.
And then what?
I don't know.
It's always the question.
Yeah, he can't really
I
great
mean,
mace this.
you just have to trade the Viper probably, because worst case scenario, you play Akani, I suppose.
Yep, I can see that. Yeah, you Okani, and you force him to trade into the Okani to play a minion.
Okay.
Theotar, the Mad Duke. Okay,
I think that's so slow.
that is not good enough though, because you're not
Yeah.
you're not killing two. You're not killing his minions if you're
Yeah.
playing that.
I mean, you're pretty much definitely taking
He's
7
forced.
to face.
He's forced to go. He can't. Yeah, he's forced to go clean the scene first.
But the good thing
Yep.
is you prevent another minion from coming down. Unless
Yep.
they trade, right? Which feels really bad.
Yep.
They don't have a way to play a 1-mana minion, so this Trent Stalker's kind of annoyed. I think you probably just trade.
I mean, I
it.
think Ron might just. I think Ron just might think it's better if I just. Ron might think it's okay to just trade into this Okani because it's gonna die regardless.
Oh,
And
it's Trial
he's
by
gonna go.
Fire
Okay,
instead.
he's gonna go trial by fire instead. Okay, yeah, this is another fine play.
The mind games if it was spell.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? All that turn would have
Yeah.
been was hero power and forge.
Yogg. Neji knows he has to Yogg this.
Here it comes.
Wandering monster. Oh, it does kill it. Summons a board.
All right.
Jellyfish.
Okay. He's dead.
He has to. But,
Oh no,
but-
Wandering Monster. You're right. Wandering Monster.
But he
does-
has. But Ron has to attack with a minion first.
You're right.
And he
The
should
ordering
attack with
matters.
one of his 3/3s.
Correct.
Base.
Base. Yeah.
Yes.
To test for everything. Okay.
Mhm.
Great. Now. And it kills
All right,
it.
that's
which
lethal.
is lethal.
GG's to Ron.
Exact lethal, actually.
All right, I get to ask Ron about this deck. Let's go.
Yeah, let's see if he will indeed come in for an interview here.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
we can
What
hopefully
a
make
set.
him. Yeah, that was such an interesting set for sure. Both players bringing decks I never thought I'd see. Because I didn't know Miracle Priest existed, and I didn't know that Black Rock and Roll Warrior was bringable either.
Right, I know. Well, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, he knows the greed. He
am-
understood.
Yeah, I have the privilege of having both of them on my legacy team. I am going to instigate a little bit, just for fun. But wait until tomorrow, until they're both cooled down. All right. Yeah, well, we get to talk to Mr. Ron Mexico here, if he's available for a.
I'll do that.
He's available for an interview.
Okay, cool. He is available.
Mhm.
Let us bring him in. All right. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Thanks for coming in and talking to us, even though I know it's been a long night for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at least I got one.
Yeah, 9 games.
I had to keep queuing the Warlock after 3 straight trios losses with Warlock in super agonizing ways. Double top deck lethal. We lived up to our
Yes.
name of the gang gets top decked.
You did. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But we were glad to see it. We were saying it was the redemption story if the Cursed Warlock could get that sweep.
Yeah, it did quite well. Turns out I really needed to beat the priest in game 1 or I might have gotten swept.
Uh-huh. You didn't have a good answer for that priest, the miracle priest, right?
I didn't really think that was a thing that anyone was doing. So,
Yeah.
my whole lineup, among other things, was like adjusted so that I had better chances against a regular control priest.
Mhm.
So yeah, that could have gotten really bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so you knew at what point in that matchup did you know this is a miracle priest?
Well, I played against Molstar and Hero just last week or the week before maybe, and he had Miracle Priest,
Ah.
and I was like, "What the hell is this?" But I definitely didn't think Neji was gonna do it. So
Uh-huh.
when he was 30 instead of 35 health to start, I was
Okay, to
like,
start.
Oh, he was third. Okay.
"Okay,
Right.
what is happening?" And then like it was pretty clear like a few cards in, like when I saw
Yeah.
switcheroo, I
Right,
think that was
switcheroo.
like
Oh yeah, switcheroo hand
when I
me
went
and-
from like 95% sure to like 100% sure.
Got
You
it.
know,
yeah.
I'm like, oh
Neji-
god, here we
Neji-
go.
Neji does seem to subscribe to Molstar decks,
True.
bringing
warrior with the rats and not the rifts. Like that's a
like
I was
most-
annoyed
yeah.
that the Dirty Rat pulled the Lorthamar in
oh
the
my
warrior
gosh.
game.
I
I just
know.
wanted the minions to be like
Oh.
irresponsibly
Large.
gigantic.
I just wanted
Yeah,
to see that too. I was so excited for it.
So
Like I almost played Finley pre Lorthamar, just like BlackRock plus Finley
Right.
on turn 6.
6, yeah.
Because I'm like, I mean, they're already big enough.
Right.
It's kind of greedy. I don't really need to play Lorthamar. And I was like, I'm gonna play Lorthamar.
yeah. Because what's funny is obviously if that doesn't hit that, it doesn't hit. If it doesn't hit that, and it doesn't hit Finley. You literally have like a 34 attack Dreadstalker like the next turn, like based on your pull.
Can you
Like
imagine?
Yeah.
he's dead. He's pretty much dead. Like right there on the spot. That would have been hilarious.
Now,
That would've been-
it is
would've been
kind of a
amazing to watch.
problem if he pulls Finley, though. Finley
No,
was
I
kind
said
of
no.
important for me.
I said
Right.
no Finley, no Lorthamar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, it
Yeah.
wasn't like there were a lot of,
No,
you really bad hits
Absolutely,
for Rat, but I was just
sure.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Lorthamar still got the push 7, it's fine.
Oh, it did. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I was looking at.
He did his job, and you didn't have to pay 7 mana for it.
True.
I was looking up some of the Miracle Priest numbers, and they did look really good against basically your other two decks. There's just random percentages with low sample size, of course, right? So it's interesting that you kind of knew even going into that one, like, oh, if we lose this, we could be in some trouble here.
Yeah, I was very concerned, like part way through the Warlock game, because I'm like, okay, I have a Control Warrior and have a Relic Demon Hunter, and that's there to try to make sure that I don't lose to Priest.
Yeah.
And I sort of figured he wasn't gonna ban my Rogue because he brought a Priest, and then I saw the Rogue banned, and I was I was
Confused,
troubled.
right?
I was
Yeah.
like, uh-oh, what's happening now?
Yeah. I didn't think there was going to be a
Hero's a
rogue ban
weird
either.
series. You can do stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Like.
I know you
Yeah,
wanted to ask
I
Xavier
thought-
about some of the decks.
Well, we've already spoke about the warrior, which I absolutely love. I know it's not technically I called it Black Rock and Roll Warrior, but it's like you said, it's a control warrior deck. I was so surprised that what we saw. Like, I don't know that this Miracle Priest this deck exists because I'm not really plugged into like some of the brain trust that Neji was working with. That he tossed to and everything. The warrior list threw me so far off when I saw the title Revenant. But I knew that 40 card warrior exists, so I thought, okay, it's a card that, probably gets run when you want to run Odin. Was there Odin in the list, or was Odin just not? I'm guessing Odin.
Yeah, Odin was in there. I just couldn't
Okay,
draw him.
okay.
There's a Thori in the list. There's an Odin. I was hoping for some of those
Okay.
cards. They just no-showed.
Makes sense, yeah.
Is that just
Okay.
to beat? Does that basically answer like the
Priest.
typical control warrior? Yeah, like what is that answering? It's just priest. Like what exactly is
Yeah.
that answering?
So it's fine in the mirror. It's fine. It's like similar spreads to just the regular warrior. The problem was priest. The problem was that I was like, okay, if I'm facing a control priest and he decides that the best counter to control priest is um, relic demon hunter and he bans demon hunter, then I have like a standard control warrior that doesn't feel great against priest, standard warlock that doesn't feel great against priest, and a mech rogue that is going to really struggle against priest is like your typical lineup rank. So I went a little bit different all the way around. The rogue was actually different too, but you guys didn't get to see that. That was Bank Yugi's secret rogue that I brought.
Right.
But that one got
Oh.
banned.
Yeah, I was thinking
Okay.
that because you're looking at, priest and warrior, it does feel like, oh, like maybe you just flip the rogue so that you can flip some of those matchups, right? Kind of just disrupt things in the hero matchup.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I went one way because priest is something that can potentially sweep me, and he went another way with the priest to sweep me.
Right.
His lineup call happened to be better, and that was like a wild kind of pick that could have paid off in spades. He might have gone 3-0 if the priest is able to just stabilize, survive like one more turn, and then pull off the OTK. Then the other decks might just crumble before it.
Yeah, I didn't.
But we had just enough pressure.
I didn't expect either of the bands, right? So when I saw them as priest and druid, I was like, oh, sorry, rogue and druid. I was like a little bit confused. And then, how did you then approach the starting deck at that point? Because I think that's always like you have a game plan going into a hero series of what to start with, and like you're kind of saying, oh, if they ban this, I'll start with this kind of thing. But like once you see the weird ban, you know something is kind of up. Like, how did you decide on starting for warlock? Because obviously that was really important even in this set.
Yeah. So, not gonna lie, I went up 2-0 in pro and had a warlock deck that dropped all 3 games. And then I went up 2-0 in trios and had a warlock deck that dropped all 3 games. So part of it was honestly like, can I even win a game with warlock ever? Should I just cut it from lineups? All right, screw it. Let's just queue warlock again
Uh huh.
and see if I can get it out of the way. But there was another part of that where I was actually looking at stats and like what seemed good. Since I banned the druid, I was up against a warrior, a warlock, and a priest. I'm like, curse warlock isn't that bad
Nope.
against a control priest. That's why I picked curse to have some better options for control. It should do fine against warrior. It's maybe like slightly unfavored, like coin flippy, like 49%.
Right.
And then it also does well in warlock mirrors. So I felt like across the board, the lineup spread for warlock was pretty good and should line up my counters. So as soon as I saw the priest get queued, I'm like, okay, this is fine. If he beats me, I'll just queue relic DH. And then he was 30 priest, and I was like, what?
Well, it definitely worked out. I mean, it sounded like you had a good thought process, and then I respect like the whole just the I'm gonna keep queuing this deck even though it hasn't been winning kind of scenario where it's like I know emotionally that
I
can be
mean,
difficult. You know what I mean?
we win a 3-0 if Ignis doesn't give Battle Cry 4 damage. That
Yeah.
was like what we pointed out. We're like, if they don't find exactly, if they don't see that they need to go for 5-mana weapon and don't find exactly Battle Cry 4 damage, I think we win. And then, okay, we can play Finley, and if we hit like Zakul, we're probably winning on the spot. But we just top decked this, so maybe we can go for lethal. So
Right.
we play the curse card and try to find lethal and instead lose the game immediately because of a top deck, and then like made some mistakes. Probably should have picked taunt to protect some things.
Right.
Maybe should have discarded the Sargeras in the first place in the game 5 of the trios game. Just because I was like, I don't know if this ever actually matters at all. But we're like, I guess we can try to slam it on 9, thinking we'd pick taunts, and then we're like, well, they have so few cards. Maybe the 6/6s can push lethal because we have a way to get there. It was weird. There were a lot of weird things, and of course, we got top deck lethal twice.
Right.
So it's just like, all right, it can't keep losing, surely, right?
Well,
It can't be that
it did
bad
not.
of a deck or that unlucky.
Right.
It did stop losing. So I'm very happy, for that. For
I mean,
you.
props to Neji in that warrior game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was I was really impressed with how he played the warrior versus warlock. He says he misplayed and like didn't line up the Odin in time, but I think if he did, he might have been losing. Like he wanted to Odin on 7. He felt like he was too greedy, not using armor gain early, and it cost him because he couldn't Odin on 7. But if he had done that, then he would have not been able to fill his hand as often and dodge the curses, which is really frustrating for like the whole game.
Right.
So it was really interesting. I thought he played that really well and carefully, and just kept dodging every curse to line up a good way to get there.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was somewhat close, but of course, I had the extra burst.
Yeah, I think like trying to fit in that Odin at the right time, right? Finding that right timing was really tough. I think that there was a point at that 7 where it would have been bad. Like you might have had lethal even if he had tried
Yeah,
to
I think you
throw it
actually had a
over.
kill. I think you almost had a kill back if.
Yeah, I mean, every time he had the opportunity to play Odin and didn't, I was hoping that he was going to play
Right,
Odin so I could
right.
kill him.
Yeah. So I think that he did find that one window and then it made it really interesting down the stretch, right? So
Yeah,
definitely.
it got dicey for sure. Um, and like there was another opportunity where I could have gotten more curses in, and he finally left like hand space open right into my turn 9, and I'm like, yeah, okay, he knows this is the Sargeras turn, so I'm not playing a curse, so it makes
Right.
sense he's gonna finally leave hand space open. Like Nedge is a great opponent, and every time I play against him, it's always interesting, fun games. And I mean, you can see how often we've played each other with like the levels of mind games that happened in our lineup planning. I think he still got me in lineup planning with the surprise Miracle Priest, but then it just didn't uh, come through with its game plan fast enough in the one game that mattered.
Yeah. Azalea, knowing you guys, also was commenting on that, like, oh, this feels like a mind game kind of thing, where they know each other really
Yeah.
well, and so
Oh
they're
yeah,
going to the
yeah. I was
extremes.
like, what are these mind games from Neji? I didn't even suspect the mind games from Ron. Like,
Well, I usually
um,
play pretty straight up. I just
you
bring
do.
like standard
Well,
tier 1, tier 2 meta
like,
decks and just
both
send
of
them.
you,
Every
yeah,
now and then, though, we gotta have some spice.
both of you are like, but like both of you to me have come across that way of like you guys play what's good, and you guys are so good at the Hearthstone game. You can bring what's good and you'll win. Like, um, but it's fun when people who are so good they like are common opponents a lot. Like the way that they'll mind game each other and everything. I don't
Yeah,
like.
to get an
Yeah,
edge, right?
I thought it was really cool gamesmanship and management. Like, I can't wait to kind of pick your guys' brains, like, about it after. Obviously, like, being that you guys are both on Amber Flight Gaming as a org with me, but also being on the Legacy team.
Well, to be fair, I do have to give a shout out, as always, to Heat Shock, who is on my team,
Yeah, the
because
madman.
if there's anyone who knows his spice, it is Heat Shock. And we kind of collaborated on this warrior a little bit. It was more like suggestions. Hey, what if you just bring like 3 things that aren't meta at all? And I'm like, I don't know, Heat Shock. And we kind of just went back and forth, and we created something that we felt comfortable enough with,
I
and
Yeah.
luckily it paid off.
I put in HSR, I put like in the deck finder, right? I put Theramar and then Renathal and Warrior, and nothing came up. So in the last 30 days, so I was like, okay, that's telling me something about this deck.
I should have looked at the
Yep.
teams and thought, okay, what if this is a Heat Shock creation with Ron? I love it.
Can't
But
know the
yeah,
stat spreads if the deck doesn't exist.
Exactly.
yeah. There's only small sample size and feel.
All right.
That is fantastic.
Well, it's definitely
All
late.
right.
Thanks so much for coming in and chatting with
Yeah.
us. Do you have any final shout outs that you want to give, Ron?
I already gave one to Heat Shock, of course. Thanks for the prep help as always, buddy. And just want to shout out the rest of my team, Department of League Administration. fellow members, 2-Star Mako, Dragon Rider, and Saku. We are looking to make another deep run this season, and hopefully we get there. And shout outs to you guys, the casters, and the viewers who just make the whole experience of THL such a fun time. You guys are awesome, and appreciate you stepping up for shows.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having your games on stream. They're all entertaining, all 9 of them. 9 of them? Yeah, 9 of them. Yeah, all of them were great. So
we went far. I tried to give you another game 5, but I got carried away with the stats. My bad.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. We do have a Sunday showdown. So tomorrow night there are going to be some matches. So just stay in with the Discord and check us out when we're live tomorrow night. All right. So thanks so much, Azalea, also for casting with me, and we'll go ahead and sign it off here. Bye, everyone.
Night, everybody.
I hear you got a problem.
Oh, gotcha.
You are not prepared.
Glad to provide some entertainment. I'm still pretty tilted about the 3 Warlock losses.
Another round? Why do you... You are not prepared! You are not! This guy's toast. Leroy! Not prepared! Goodbye.